rock and roll with the music.
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about, let's crack on.
Yeah, we're gonna intertwine music into our little conversations when we in the middle of going on tangents.
Yeah, I mean we've just spoken.
We won't have.
We just spoke about 4 different things in like 15 minutes. I don't even think it's been 15.
Yeah, I think we were 2 tangents away from aliens.
Yeah, aliens are real.
We'll save the bandos. Yeah. I was thinking. Do you know what like a Mount Rushmore is?
Yeah.
You know, obviously the 4
presidents
heads.
of.
Sometimes I think, if you have to choose the best album, but you can't really pinpoint it down to one for obvious reasons, it's like, it's so multi-talented that you can't just be like, well, it's this one.
It comes down to preference.
Like singers, it comes down to preference, and it's so subjective, like, with singers as well,
Yeah, because you can't actually score it, can you?
No, you can't. There's no metric.
It's just opinion. That's the problem with films and music is...
Yeah, there's no fair metric.
There's no right answer. It's just your opinion against mine. Although some people's opinions just honking.
Yeah. So I was thinking if you make like a Mount Rushmore of if
What?
we go for the best debut album of all time.
Oh, debut, okay.
Yeah, just that's the foreplay.
And do we have to agree?
We can choose. We have to try agree on.
Yeah, that's fine because I've got one that just popped into my head as a debut album. Stone Roses, self-titled.
Stone Roses.
1989, I think.
Yeah. What's on there again?
Oh, God, here we go. Fool's Gold, I Am the Resurrection.
Wanna Be Adored?
I Wanna Be Adored, that's the opening track. Now, Made of Stone.
Made of Stone, such an underrated Stone Roses tune.
Yeah, I love that album.
Yeah, you're gonna put that in
Well,
the
no,
mix
that's
as
definitely
one of
an
the
option.
best?
That's definitely an option.
That can be in the grinder. I was thinking of Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
think that might be the best-selling debut album of all time, or at least the fastest when it first came out. But Arctic Monkeys might have done better.
85, 86.
Yeah, around the late 80s. It opens up with Welcome to the Jungle. Could you imagine stepping on the scene?
Imagine just like putting your headphones in for the first time. Well, not headphones, you wouldn't have had headphones. Your Walkman. Sticking your Walkman in and just hearing...
Yeah, well,
and
that's
you're like,
it.
holy shit.
The production on it.
Yeah.
Imagine having a record player back in the late 80s and putting on Welcome to the Jungle for the first time.
Huge.
Sweet Child of Mine's on there.
Yeah.
Night Train.
Is what's that other song?
Mr. Brownstone.
The
Paradise City.
Paradise City, yeah.
Paradise City. Come on, that's like you can't rock up to the show and be like, "Here's my first record."
It's mad, isn't
The
it?
record label must have been like.
It's weird though with debut albums because it's like lightning in a bottle type stuff, isn't it? Some people will never get to replicate that again. And then you've got bands like the Beatles who do it like 11 times in a row.
Well, that's the thing. That's
in my opinion
most definitely true about debut albums is that you've basically had your whole life to write your lyrics for your debut.
Yeah.
And you have such a short period of time between your first to your second album, right?
Yeah.
And you can see that. There's so many bands where the trajectory after their debuts just changed. Not everyone can ride the ascension up to, just releasing good music all the time. But you see it in bands, man. Their debut is just their best album out their whole catalogue.
It's because of the freedom, I think, as well. Just like, well, we're an unknown, so let's just go for it, put everything into it and see what happens. And then normally when you've got to follow up a success like that, then it's just almost impossible, isn't it?
Yeah.
For some bands anyway.
Yeah, it's under management terms then as well, right?
Well, yeah, the labels always get involved and start saying, well, we need X amount of singles, we need it to be this long, the songs can't go over this long because you need radio play, etc.
Yeah, we'll give you a 5-year record contract, but we need 3 albums in that time.
Yeah, then that just puts
it's easy to say, oh, here's my first one.
Yeah, I mean, and time is the killer of creativity, isn't it? So
exactly,
when you try and put a timestamp on how long something should take, then that's when you're bound to get problems.
Yeah, you have other emotions involved then.
Well, you're just thinking
nervousness
about
and rushing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're left to your own accord, you're gonna come up with something good. But if you're getting told now, you need to hurry up. Or
I'm going to write these down. Well, not yet. Just if we're not.
Well,
if we're
I can
struggling to remember. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we could have a couple couple vetoes.
Yeah.
Never heard of a veto? So when someone suggests it, you're like, it's like a maybe.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds an in between or something.
Something like that.
So other ones. What's like your favorite?
Arctic Monkeys debut.
AM's debut.
Yeah.
Whatever people say I am.
That's what I'm not.
What's the best?
With
track
Adam
of that
Sandler
for
on the front cover. Smoking cigarettes.
Tanning on his.
You know, funny when I seen that as someone tweeted it the other day, and then they edited Adam Sandler's face on it. It's brilliant.
Unreal. That's good.
So,
What songs on there again?
Riot Van.
Certain Romance.
A Certain Romance.
Thrown in a riot van. Oh, mate, that takes me back. Like.
We'll see when you ask me what's on there.
Yeah,
and then I just go
it's
blank,
hard.
but
It's so hard to think, but it's good to just throw them out there to remember, get you hyped. Like Riot Van reminds me of when phones started picking up prior to smartphones.
2006.
When
the year before the iPhone.
Yeah,
came
exactly.
out.
So that thing between phones just being like an obsolete thing that an average person had. Then you had your infrared and your Bluetooth phones.
The Triumph.
Your infrared and your Bluetooth for like Samsung flip phones. That's
classic.
Riot Van always reminds me of that because that was one of the Bluetooth songs that would always
And
be
you'd
getting
have to sit your
around.
phones like this.
Yeah, your phones would have to be lipsing.
I remember downloading Gym Class Heroes onto my Sony Ericsson.
Akon Lonely was a prominent like infrared tune that used to get bounced around.
Remember the Helium Voice? That was such a big
The
thing.
Helium Boys.
You know, like, I am so lonely. Like, around that time was a proper
Oh,
big,
right,
like,
that, like-
squeaky voice phase.
Woke up. Oh, what a tune that.
Akon. He had to say on every track that he was a convict. Even though I'm pretty sure he...
And then 50 Cent came and smoked him out of the water, but got shot 9 times.
As if he survived that as well.
But I love Stereophonics' debut album. Word Gets Around.
I don't know it that
It's
well,
got
but-
Local Boy in the Photograph on.
Dakota? Nah, that's
Nah.
the other one, isn't
It's
it?
got Traffic on. It's got...
You're a big Kelly Jones fan, though, aren't you?
I love Kelly Jones. Yeah, I think he's like the UK's Dylan or something.
The Welsh Bob Dylan.
It's a massive shout, but
Yeah, that's, I mean... that's a
when he
big comparison.
wrote Words Gets Around, it's like what we were just saying about the debuts and having your whole life to write about them. He wrote like More Life in a Tramp's Vest, and that's on it. Not Up to You. They're all 6 Stereophonic songs. Billy Davis' Daughter, but he
They do the handbags.
1,000
and the glad
Trees
rags,
is on
don't
there.
they?
Hey,
Handbags and the glad rags.
Yeah.
That's a cover, I know.
yeah.
So I
But
listen to that one.
Handbags not Glad Rags, not a different album. But what was I gonna just say? I was gonna say he like got in loads of trouble because he drops some like average names in the album, like Billy Davis' Daughter and that. But that's about a real person and it's their real name, and he didn't change their name. And it's a song about suicide. So he got like he wrote about like loads of people in his village and that.
And I mean, are you allowed?
Yeah, I guess you are.
I
but
guess you
again,
maybe
there's-
just change the
change names and
just
stuff.
for a bit
So
of-
I don't know. He didn't like get in trouble for that, but he got
just a
like
bit.
they zoned in on like you shouldn't be doing that. So you can read up about stuff like that. But yeah, 1,000 Trees is I really love that as a debut album. I think that's great. Pearl Jam's 10. Have you been listening
I've
to
been
it?
bashing it, so yeah, it's very good.
Because we talked about that in the
Yeah,
week, didn't we?
Literally Wednesday when we were in the office.
How have you been like?
I do
taken
like
to
that album. Yeah, it's good. Alive's a really good song.
The solo in Alive's unbelievable.
Right at the end, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Alive, Black, obviously Even Flow. That's probably still my favourite.
Yeah.
Only because I heard it first. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good tune.
Even flow. What was that thing you told me the other day, which is so true? You was
It's just-
what Pearl Jam
It
sounds
sounds
like.
like to people who don't like Pearl Jam. It's like,
Because
on a cornflake.
it
I mean,
does sound like
he's got a great
his
voice,
lyric.
but it does kind of sound like that. It's a bit like the Red Hot Chili Peppers one as well.
Yeah. Eddie Vedder's, Pearl Jam's Unplugged.
Yeah, you said. I need to listen to
MTV
that.
Unplugged is class. They have a song called State of Love and Trust. But when they done their Unplugged, I was saying it's like they hadn't reached that fame yet. They weren't like Nirvana level of fame
When they
or
done
Alice in
theirs.
Chains level of fame when they done their Unplugged. They were, I don't even know if their debut had came out or it just came out or something. But yeah, it was well early on in their career. And then as time went by,
I
people
need to
didn't
download
realize
it.
how
I'll
good it
download
was.
it right now just so we don't forget.
Yeah. So, what was that? I thought you would have thrown out.
Definitely, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I am going to because time has arrived. Yeah, I mean, I think people watching this, there's going to be
Everyone's
a lot
like,
of Oasis fans listening.
I put it as my story once, as a reply thing you could reply to.
Yeah.
What's the best debut album of all time?
That got a lot of hits.
I've hated the answers.
Yeah, but you like Oasis, but you have like a love-hate relationship. No?
It's a strange. People think I notoriously hate Oasis.
No,
like it's an ongoing joke between everyone.
Yeah.
But it's my distaste for Noel Gallagher that makes people think that.
Yeah.
So when I was like younger, I used to smash Oasis all the time. Like definitely maybe What's the Story of Morning Glory, the Be Here Now album, all of that. Yeah.
I remember the Be Here Now album.
Yeah, like Girl in a Dirty Shirt, class tune, and
Don't Go Away's on there. Great song.
Don't Go Away.
My sister's favourite Oasis one.
Yeah, and their stuff's like quite easy to learn on guitar for like the strumming patterns and chord progressions. I think Don't Go Away is one of the first ones I learned. But then I never know the lyrics, and that's why I slip up with them. But it's just Noel. Yeah, Noel gets on my dirt. He's so rude about so many artists, and
he's very bitter.
He's very egotistical. He thinks he's like the best rock star that's ever been, and that
Don't
kind
get me
of
wrong. He's a great songwriter.
He's an amazing songwriter. Yeah, he's an amazing
just not
songwriter.
a likable person.
His attitude is just weird. Like LG is so much cooler. I love LG, but
I love him as well. He's obviously they're both wankers, aren't they? Let's be honest. But I like.
LG actually reminds me of like someone from a council estate, where Noel reminds me of someone from a mansion.
It's like Liam's stuck to his roots, and Noel's forgot his background.
100%. Like I've seen him slag off. I think Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin,
that's just
Alex Turner, obviously Lewis Capaldi and that, and all like that. Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift,
Jay-Z. Remember
Jay-Z? Oh, Jay-Z's funny. That's the best troll in all
to play
time.
the guitar.
So yeah, Noel said a rapper shouldn't be headlining Glastonbury, so Jay-Z walked out to Glasgow
playing Wonderwall.
Fake playing Wonderwall.
That's what made it even better. The Nirvana on top of the Pops fake playing.
Yeah, Jay-Z was fake playing this electric guitar like this, and then Wonderwall was playing in the background. That's the second time he's been mugged off at Glasgow, old Noel.
Capaldi with the big
love heart, and that clip playing where he said, "Oh, who the fuck's that guy?" or whatever, or he's shit or whatever. But yeah, he's just as time goes by, you think,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
But no, definitely maybe.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're on that question.
Has it's got to be on there, right?
Definitely maybe.
Oh, it's got to be.
Yeah, you can
contender.
I'll be kind.
We've only got 4, so it's gonna be like near on impossible. Let's be honest, but it's definitely up there.
What's on definitely maybe again?
Columbia, Live Forever, Rock and Roll Star, Shaker Maker.
Yeah.
Slide Away.
Yeah.
Like
okay. Yeah.
That's
a contender. That's a contender if I've ever seen one. Put it that way.
Live Forever and Slide Away, probably two of my favorite Oasis songs. Cast No Shadow as well, but that's on Morning Glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
So
Isn't it? It's written about Richard Ashcroft.
Cast No Shadow is definitely.
Yeah, great.
Ashcroft's a legend.
Debut albums.
Do you know what's that proper underrated debut album? The ride between track 1 and track 5, like the back to back, is so good.
On what?
The Killers' Hot Fuss.
Oh yeah, even the first.
It's
album.
Sorry, I meant the first 5 tracks on the debut. It goes Mr. Brightside, Smile Like You Mean It. Somebody told me Jenny was a friend of mine, and I can't. And all these things that I've done. Yeah, they're in a row on their debut.
Yeah. So it's funny. I was looking at the Killers before, and yeah, that is a great album. Sam's Town's a great album.
That doesn't get enough like recognition for a debut.
Do you know what? You're totally right. It's Mr. Brightside, the whitest song ever.
Yeah, I seen a meme once. It's like, do you ever think maybe the Killers sit down and like, they're from like Arizona or whatever, like a desert. They're from like some warm desert, and they're like, I wonder why you can go to a pub in Bristol and Mr. Brightside's like the most popular tune in that whole town.
It's on every wedding playlist. It gets everyone to the dance floor, doesn't it?
Yeah, it unlocks some inner demon.
It's a great song. He's a Mormon, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Mormon.
He's heavy into his Christianity.
Fair play. He's always dressed smart. Looks like a geezer. He's got no allegations against him.
Yeah, I mean, so far. Remember when Liam Gallagher walked out on stage when the Killers were playing, and he's like just taken aback. He's obviously a big Liam Gallagher fan. He's like, it's Liam Gallagher, and he can't even get his words out. And then
so
Liam's just steaming, comes on, says hello, and then just walks off. It's like sound.
Yeah, man. There's another one where he like, surprises him and he makes him jump. He's in the middle of singing. He like sneaks on stage and he's like,
probably was that one.
Oh, maybe.
And he can't get his words out because he's so like flustered. But it's funny.
It's funny that LG is so loved amongst like Dave Grohl loves fanboys LG.
I have a feeling they almost see him as like a character.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a real person. Like he is, isn't he? He's like got the walk, got the outfits on, the hair, everything's always like rock star mode, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is like a character.
He's like a Ramones.
He's became a caricature of himself.
Literally.
Almost, you know what I mean?
He's like he should be in the Ramones, but he never was.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a completely different generation and time, but he just looks like, because the Ramones are like, they all dress the same, have the same haircut, all have the same surname, but they're not really brothers. They're all just like 4 individual men, but they all have like Joey Ramone, Mark Ramone, and
so they're not actually related.
Nah, but that's what you just assume they are because they take.
It's like finding out the Jacksons aren't related.
Yeah, I know that was mental. Way.
Michael's your adopted.
Yeah, you'd point to Michael.
To be fair, you would have thought he was adopted 20 years later.
in the end.
In the end, yeah. It's funny. Me and Courtney were talking about Michael Jackson the other day. I was just saying how good he is, but like he was weird, wasn't he?
The thing with Michael Jackson, right, is that always
the end.
He was so weird, right? And I'm not gonna. I know he's so loved, but to me, it's like I don't know another guy in this world that could face those sort of allegations, right? And still even be in the talks of he was innocent or he was a good guy or the king of pop. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like
you've had the Dave Chappelle joke, haven't you?
Maybe I've seen all the Dave Chappelle joke, but I can't recall it. What is it? You have to do it in Dave Chappelle.
I don't even know if I should be saying it on here, but
wait, you do that.
Basically saying how no one was ever molested by the king of pop. You're basically saying how you come into school saying, well, I met Michael Jackson over the weekend.
And you'll never guess what. Yeah. I'm a huge fan now.
But yeah, Courtney was saying, she was like, could you imagine Anne, my mum, just dropping me off to some millionaire guy's house over here just to spend the night?
Yeah. Well, that's clear as day, right?
Yeah. I personally, I don't think he did, those things. Was he weird and creepy? Yeah. Was he inappropriate? Probably. But I don't think he'd done it.
And I know people always fall back on, he had a shit childhood, his dad was abusive and his dad, put him into this sort of industry and never gave him a real childhood. And that's the why, because he missed his own childhood, he gives other people that childhood. But it's like, would you not use that as an excuse if you were a weirdo?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was a broken individual from
strange
young age.
Thing. He's a good-looking dude as well, man.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's
on that front of Thriller when he's lying there. He's
he's probably good looking. Have you seen when I'm laughing? Because have you seen when he's picking up a ward and he forgets to use his MJ voice and he uses
hello, is this thing on?
He's like hello, hello, is this thing on?
But like that is true. So he would speak high pitched so he could keep his singing voice, and I'm pretty sure they used to like inject him as a child, didn't they?
Oh, that's weird. He's a human. Mm-hmm. It's strange.
Yeah, his dad was
everything's weird about it. Even what he done to his skin, that's peculiar.
Yeah, that's just.
He's a very, complex individual. But his tunes are his tunes, man. His tunes are unbelievable.
Unbelievable music.
Bless MJ.
I couldn't even. What's his Off the Wall? Is that his debut album?
I don't know.
One of them, but I couldn't tell you. I mean,
what's Off the Wall? The one, the white and black suit, he's leaning against the wall.
Funny enough, he actually is leaning against the wall. There's the Thriller one where he's lying in a suit, looking all like smooth, and then there's the Off the Wall one where he's got the afro, and he's kind of stood against it. But to be fair, he's been singing since he was a kid, and he had that album. Is it Ben, or is that a song? I can't remember. But yeah, brilliant music. Strange individual, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, he knew how to dance, didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know that Eddie Van Halen done the solo on Beat It?
Really?
Yeah, that's Eddie's. The Strokes. The Strokes. Have I thrown that out?
This
there?
Is it?
Is this it? Yeah.
Is this it?
Is this it? Yeah. It's got Last Night on it. It's got Someday on it. It's got Is This It? It's It's got a song called Hard to Explain, which is good.
I like the Strokes. They're really
The
good.
Strokes are sick.
Reptilia, I don't know if that's on that one. That's on...
That's not on that one.
No.
But that's a great debut album. And that came out at a time where, like, I don't know, you needed a little resurgence. It was amongst, like, the Libertines debut album, you know, Can't Stand Me Now and The Man Who Would Be King, Music When the Lights Go Out. They're that era of, like, years.
The grunge scene coming back.
It is. It's like a new thing.
Yeah, they were good. And they was always playing in the back of movies. Last Night and Sunday was always playing in films.
She said, "Oh baby." That's what
I remember Shia LaBeouf's got a Strokes t-shirt on in Transformers.
Does he?
Always remember
Very
that.
good. I think his name's like Julian Casablanca.
Julian Casablanca. I was heavy into them when I was like in that, you know, you're like, everyone has that hipster.
I find that's
phase.
like,
the top man
just
phase.
a couple years being into a teenager.
I was probably, like 15, 16, but I started love bands and when like everyone used to shop in Topshop. Do you remember that Top Man wearing the Rihanna t-shirts?
Yeah, it makes
it was a weird couple of years.
And they weren't even like good like band t-shirts. It was just a white top with a square block
on
of
it,
like whichever artist.
And some chinos.
And some chinos, yeah.
Oh god.
But that's it. So we got AM. I reckon. Do we put? We need to solidify some here. Do we solidify Guns N' Roses? Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one. Maybe we can get. Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
All right. Then what's next? Who else did you write?
Arctic Monkeys or Oasis or Stone Roses. Oh shit, it's gonna be hard picking.
I said.
Is it? Are we doing my personal preference as opposed to like?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like.
I don't want to say some old album that I've probably never actually listened to in my life. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's personal preference, then I'm picking one of them three, definitely.
Choose one. I mean, I'll back up AM being in there.
Is it better than Definitely Maybe though? And is it better than the Stone Roses debut album? I've picked like three tough ones. Yeah.
You have, yeah. The Doors debut, we didn't go over the Doors.
That's what I mean, Led Zeppelin's debut as well.
Oh, I'm gonna be
we could be here for fucking hours.
Led Zeppelin's debut.
Slim Shady LP. Tucker, sorry mate for leaving that out.
Is Guilty Conscience on Slim Shady LP? Yeah. Come on.
Role Model. I always, I'm always have a mind blank as soon as you ask me who's on it. Do you know what? I have a phone
there's a sick Juice WRLD video where he's freestyling role models to the
he does a whole
to the interviewer because he just
My Name Is Brain Damage, 97 Bonnie and Clyde, Role Model, Rock Bottom, Just Don't Give a Fuck.
I just don't give a
great album. Right.
Whoa.
I was gonna say, can't just have all bands, can we?
We can.
Mount Rushmore. I suppose if it's personal preference.
We can do what we want, mate.
Yeah, true. But would that make the list?
What? M?
Yeah. If it was Marshall Mathers LP, it would have.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, mate. I don't think it meets the cut. If I'm honest with you. AM or Oasis can be there. They have to be there. Really?
I think because of nostalgia. And I'm going to have to say Oasis.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sound. We can put that there. The boys would be like, Josh is letting that in. He's changed, man.
Maybe we should put Eye Monkeys.
We can put them both in there. Really, what have we got to choose from? So we had the Killers, the Doors. We had Stereophonics. Stereophonics don't matter. That's just a personal preference.
Their favourite albums.
Yeah, they're bad.
Put them in the comments. Put your favourite 4 in the comments.
Yeah, choose your own Mount Rushmore and let us know what it is.
I mean, there'll be totally different ones.
And rightly so, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, it's hard, man. Yeah. What do you think?
I think the Killers album's great, but then I'm torn between, you know, what's popular and what I love.
What you actually love, yeah.
Which is completely different.
I know. Because you're trying to pick.
This is the metric we were talking about.
Like what everyone.
How do you make the metric? I reckon we go Oasis, Arctic Monkeys, Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
And then,
and then we choose a fourth. I reckon it's the only way we're going to progress with it. Let's talk about the Led Zepp debut.
Unreal.
The blimp on the front.
The only thing that would hold it back is, what's that? It's 8 tracks, 9 tracks, and 4 of them are covers, aren't they? At least. Like,
what's on it again?
Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, Dazed and Confused.
I've been dazed and confused.
Communication Breakdown. You Shook Me, Your Time Is Gonna Come. Great tune.
Man, that could be on there, you know. Communicate, that's riff central. Anyone who likes their rock and roll, their classic rock, their guitar, how you gonna, oh, look at that.
Look at it moving.
You can see the cover from here.
Yeah, it's perfect, really, isn't it? But
are you experienced?
Yeah, great album. Although I wouldn't put it above that, unfortunately. Do you know what I actually did before? I wrote some favourite albums. So I don't know if they...
Who else did you bring up when you said Led Zepp before? I think it was another classic rock band.
Doors? No,
Doors.
You said Doors.
No,
yeah,
Doors was already
that's up there. It's one of my favourites.
Ends with the end.
The end, obviously.
This is the end.
Do you know what's funny? I was listening to them on the way down. Paolo Nutini, These Streets. That is a brilliant debut album. Obviously, I'm not putting it in the same bracket as all these, but I'm just reading my phone. That was a great album. Do you want to... The Kooks, Inside In, Inside Out.
Nah, they need a bigger global reach.
Nah, I know. That was
It's the only...
Illmatic Nas. Great album.
Yeah, that's
top tier, mate. That's like
even today,
one of the greatest hip hop albums ever.
There's an Ozark episode. Did you watch Ozark?
Yeah,
it's really
it's
good.
Decent.
You know that Ruth?
Yeah,
she's good character.
Yeah.
There's a whole episode where I can't remember what's going on.
She's just blasting hip hop.
Yeah, she's just bumping Nas. Like when she gets in the car, there's a Nas track on. When she gets,
I do remember that.
Sick. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm stuck. I did write some notes and I scribbled over them out of desperation. Maybe I don't know.
Steal a bit of this.
Who the hell was that right here?
Oh, you're showing me your things on the back.
For after.
So what have we got?
We've got Arctic Monkeys. We've got Oasis. And we've got Guns N' Roses Appetite. We'll have to choose one each and flip on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm being a bit of a bitch here.
Say what you want.
I know.
Metallica. You've got the t-shirt
on. Well, who are you going to go for, man?
I'm picking... Yeah, I'll pick Arctic Monkeys and Oasis debut, if I could have two.
No, they're there. They're already there. Yeah, we're 3 down.
Oh, so we got one more.
Guns, Oasis, and AM. Yeah, we got one more.
Should probably throw in a hip hop one, but
Akon.
What was that? What was his debut album?
Convict, Locked Up.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Let's.
I'm trying to think of any more now.
We'll have to. Should we go back to it?
We can go back to it. I'm just trying to think of more.
I'll go with the Strokes.
You want to pick? Is that yours?
That's it. I'm just. Time is the killer of creativity.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right. Because now I feel like we're just dragging on. I'm like, oh god.
So am I.
Sorry to the viewers.
Yeah, I might be able to work my magic in the edit.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Cut out all the long pauses. No, I'm joking.
The audio will be easy.
Yeah. Jinx.
Get debut albums up. We should know this off by heart.
Yeah,
I'm putting Killers out there. Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's like when you go on a game show and they ask you something you should know. The pressure of like being live, you just forget.
Like catchphrase. No. What's the one? Family Fortune. That's the one where they have the funniest answer.
Survey says. Yeah, the Steve Harvey ones.
It's like names. What's the colour of a banana? Who's the girl?
They're like blue.
Who's the woman that says orange and then goes? What's the question? Do you remember? Do you know the clip? It's an old lady on like.
There's some absolute belters at the moment that I've seen. There's some good ones on The Chase. The answers are always pretty funny.
So you're looking at the band. I keep showing you my notes.
It's fine.
Right, Killers or the Strokes then for me. No, I'm putting the Stereophonics down. Why am I even dabbling with the other two? Stereophonics.
Pick what you want, son.
Stereophonics. Word Gets Around. I've listened to that album nearly more than most albums.
Really?
Yeah. That's in like that'll be in my top 5 or 10 listen to album. So yeah, so that's it. Come on, sort it out, me. Stereophonics. Word Gets Around.
I need to go. And
Standing at the bus stop with my shopping in my hand.
In a speaker, Tame Impala.
I know someone else who likes Tame Impala. I just haven't caught on yet. I gave him one go and I was just like, I don't really get this, and I've given another go. I think because
I was proper heavy into like psychedelic music and stuff like that, and I love them. And then they kind of got a bit poppy, commercial.
Yeah,
the songs became a bit more radio friendly and stuff like that, which they're still good.
He's really clever, isn't he? He writes like songs for other people.
Yeah, he's a really good producer. But he is.
What's his name? Kevin Parker.
Kevin Parker. Yeah, like
I don't know.
He does it all basically, but then obviously when they're live, he needs a band. That's a good first album though.
Well, that's how the Foo Fighters started. So Dave Grohl wrote the music and all that, the lyrics, the drums, the guitar, the bass for all the instruments, and then needed to start a band to go play it live. So that's how we got the Foo Fighters together. Really? It's cool, like when creative people do that, because it just came off the back of Nirvana, you know, thinking, what can I do? A lot of people half people would call it a day.
He's the drummer and he's the songwriter as well. You know, and they're normally just like the one in the back.
Yeah, just keeping time and playing the beat.
But the fact that he's
like, for Foo Fighters, he's the heart of it, really. Yeah. And it's so nice to see him. Obviously, all his counterparts and all his compadres. Exactly, Taylor Hawkins, Kurt Cobain. A lot of the bands from that era, from the Nirvana grunge era. Alice in Chains, Lane Staley's dead. Who else is a massive grunge band? Pearl Jam are like the only one still going, really. Oh, that's who I was thinking of. Soundgarden, Chris Cornell.
He's dead, isn't he?
So, you know, to be Dave Grohl and be like in that music scene so prominently and not really have all the people that you grew up with alive, that'd be a weird feeling, I reckon.
It was nice when his Taylor Hawkins' son played drums. Did you see that?
Yeah, jumped on the tribute.
That was cool.
And he nailed it.
Smashed it, literally.
Class.
But that's sad, isn't it?
They have a funny horror movie out called Studio 666. It's so silly.
It looks terrible.
Some of the acting in it's subpar, abysmal.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. It's not to be taken.
He's the devil in Pick of Destiny, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've been listening to
even in Tribute in the music video.
Literally, you took the way. I've been listening to Tribute like all week.
You know, when they come out of the booth and you know the acapella bit.
Yeah.
When he comes out the booth and starts going mad on the mic.
And then the granny goes in. Do you remember the music video? She's the devil, isn't she?
Like it has the thriller eyes.
Yeah, the little devil red eyes. I remember that music video. They go into the photo booth.
Yeah.
And they just... Well, it's not a photo, but it's like a music booth, and then they just rock out in there.
I'd love to see Tenacious D.
Really?
They're really, like, the way they play guitars class. Oh, man, you know when that Carl Gass at the beginning of when he first sees him for the first time?
Mm. Oh, and he's...
And what's that song? Yeah, and he's on the beach, and he's like, can you get out of my way, please? And he just keeps shredding, but he's so mesmerised by him, he keeps getting in the way, and he's like looking at him, and he's like, show me how you done that. It's like a Mozart on guitar, or it's a really famous song transcribed onto guitar. Like a really famous piano song or something.
Beethoven or something.
Yeah, something like that. You can...
I'll look it up.
Jamie, pull up.
Stole that line, man. I was saying to Josh how I wanted to say, hey, Jamie, pull that up all week.
Jamie? You know, Jamie's not that young. He's not like little kid Jamie.
No, he's like in his 30s.
He looks older.
I mean...
When you put a face
doesn't let him out that room. He's got him chained up in there.
Yeah. Sound, I think the debut. Then we were stuck at 3. Really,
it's your house. I'll let you pick.
You let me have Word Gets Around.
That's fine.
It's gonna be one of those I live to regret as well. I'll be like, how am I gonna put?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but 4 albums is tough.
yeah, fair enough. Right, wait, we're
I
going to move on,
apologise
yeah.
to anyone who's offended by these listings.
Yeah, well, if you have a better one, let us know.
Yeah.
Now, we'll swap Word Gets Around for Illmatic. Because that has so much more reach and it's a bit more diversity.
I would say people, if you ask hip hop fans,
no one in America is going to put Word Gets Around over
Oasis,
Illmatic.
are they?
Yeah. I actually feel better about that. If we moved on there without that being done, I don't think I would.
If you ask any rapper what his favourite rap album is, it's got to be Illmatic.
Yeah.
It'll be up there anyway, do you know what I mean?
Happy days. All right, the next segment, I've been looking forward to this all week.
This is going to do my nothing,
This could lead to like violence.
Yeah, that can do.
Clear arguments. So we're going to have band offs, right? So we'll like say 2 bands. I've got a couple. And it's like a versus,
I wrote some
basically.
down as well, like, if you want me to do one, but I'll let you.
Where we have to discuss, well, this band's the one we're keeping the other bands going, like, and all its music, you know.
Sure.
We done it in the movie. We done it for a movie once, didn't we? Where we had to get rid of Jim Carrey, Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler.
Don't bring it up.
Or Will Ferrell. And it was so hard. But when you eliminate the one person...
many arguments.
When you eliminate the one person, all their movies go as well. So
we're going to do that, but for music.
we're going to do that for bands. So,
Jesus.
because we keep laughing about Limp Bizkit at work.
Yeah.
And I've actually been listening...
chainsaw.
What do I say? What do I keep saying? Oh, come on.
It's all about the nookie.
Nah, it's like... Oh, fuck. It's so hard when you can't remember.
You should have wrote it down.
I should have wrote loads more down. But yeah, Limp Bizkit then versus... If Only We Could Fly. Do you remember
That's
that?
what it was, wasn't it?
If Only We Could Fly.
So what, them against who?
Rage Against the Machine.
I think we had a brief discussion about...
You said if it's Rage Against the Machine, because I gave you a taster of one out of all the ones I wrote down. And I was like, Dick, it is Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, I guessed that one. So if it's between them two, it's quite easy for me.
Well, normally I'd stick to like just the music, and not like, but I don't like Rage Against the Machine's attitude. I don't like that they're...
What, you don't like
They
that
take
they're
themselves
against the machine?
They take... Well, they're not, though. They just say they are.
To be fair,
They're not like
I don't know too much
signed
about
to
them.
Sony or whoever they are. Do you know what I mean? It's completely not bullshit.
Yeah.
But
they make good music.
they make their debut's got Bomb Track on. It's got
Killing.
No, move on, Josh. But
I
yeah, but besides that debut and Bomb Track, say Killing in the Name.
was listening to Battle of Los Angeles.
Maybe
today.
Bulls on Parade.
That's my favorite.
What else is there? What other albums do they even have?
They have
You know
4
what I mean?
albums.
I don't even know.
Battle of Los Angeles, Renegades, the debut album, and the one Bulls on Parade's on, with the kid on the front.
Right.
See, I can't tell you any Limp Bizkit albums. I'm not. I would only know the songs off the greatest hits.
So their album's called Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavoured water.
Yeah, that's the
which
one
is well
I know.
funny.
And yeah, but they starred out the name like it's a bad name. Why have they done that?
Don't know.
So you're obviously gonna pick
Break
Limp
Stuff.
Bizkit.
Mate, Break Stuff is like the best song to end a set with ever.
I mean, that's a good tune, but I don't know, man.
Just keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean,
My way or the highway.
Behind
It's
Blue Eyes cover as well.
Huh?
The Behind Blue Eyes cover.
Yeah, that's more songs than Rage Against the Machine.
Callum Leaf, if he's listening, he's gonna.
Does he love Rage?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I like
he
Tom
used to-
Morello.
when I see Rage Against the Machine, I think of him.
He
He used to have the poster in his room.
Yeah, they've got a good guitarist, Tom Morello.
His voice,
He like holds his guitar under his chin, mate. It's so weird.
really.
That's what plays like that. You got the main guy.
We're gonna have to, because I'm picking Rage Against the
Yeah,
Machine
well,
all day.
Draw them. We can write it off as a draw.
Fair enough.
What's the bridge to Break Stuff? Can you remember? Well, we're gonna have to get the phone.
Chainsaw, skin your ass raw.
And if my day keeps going this way, I just might break something
tonight.
And then it does it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
to
then
get
it
to
just
the niggas.
drops. Eh?
Oh man, and the build up.
Me and Boy have been listening to it on the way home.
I listen to it like once a day, man. Draw then, Limp Bizkit.
Go on then.
Best Rage Against the Machine. Draw. Go, you can throw 1 in the mix.
You want me to do one from mine?
Yeah.
Sound. Okay.
I rock a chainsaw.
Right.
And if my day keeps going this way, I just might break something tonight.
Right. Here we go. I'll do one for you. That's got to be tough for you.
Nah.
Oh, you want it?
Nah, I'm joking.
Nah, yeah, no. Because I bet you've got something.
No, that's the way it has to be.
Okay, this is a tough one, I think.
Go on. I need to start, like, my Google brain's not working.
I'll go from just, like, order. Black Sabbath
Yeah.
versus Metallica.
Okay.
Similar genres, slightly different, but
Yeah.
I know you like both of them, so
Yeah.
I know it'd be quite hard to choose.
So
Personally, I would pick Black Sabbath.
I'd pick, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not as hard as you think, yeah.
sounds
Black Sabbath all the way.
Yeah, Ozzy's.
Because what Ozzy's done for, like, I think, mate, Ozzy is just, he helped birth heavy metal. Do you know what I mean? Black Sabbath helped birth heavy metal.
No,
They were doing it at the
they
same time as, like,
literally-
Deep Purple and
they
that, but
literally were the pioneers.
they were the pioneers. Tony Iommi, those metal riffs, the Black Sabbath metal riffs. He has metal
Bill
tipped
Ward on the
fingers.
drums.
Yes, mate, your
Shout
uncle.
out Bill Ward.
The guy who, like, basically guitar-wise started heavy metal has metal tipped fingers.
What, literally?
Yeah, because he got cut off in, like, a industry accident.
Really?
When he was working, when he was just your average Joe, you know? When he was just the breadwinner. And then comes out with Paranoid and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would pick.
And all the other Black Sabbath tunes, Iron Man, NIB. As much as I like Metallica, yeah, thrash metal, I don't know. Thrash metal is not, like, my favourite sort of genre, do you know what I mean?
I like ballads.
I love the melody Metallica brought to, like, heavy metal and that. When you put them against, you know, Megadeth and Slayer, Anthrax, all the other, like, thrash metals. Yeah, they've got songs that are, like, have more sentimental value, songs that you can sing along to, and, like, when you walk off, like, you actually remember them. Do you know what I mean? Like, Welcome Home Sanitarium, or One. The intro to One is such a beautiful riff, but Sabbath's influence on everybody else is just like it's literally unfathomable. The genre they started alone has breeded, like, multiple other genres. Come on. And what I like about Ozzy is he is like he's a character, basically. I mean, he sings, right? He doesn't write lyrics and he doesn't play an instrument, and he just shows up and he just sings. Yeah, his voice is his power. Yeah, his voice is what's, like, brought him so much attention.
Prince of Darkness. You
All
don't
that
get a
stuff.
name like that.
The Prince of Darkness.
Legend.
That's not cool.
That's
like
that
more
is
than
cool.
cool. That's what I meant.
Very cool.
I read his biography, and it's probably one of the most entertaining biographies I've ever read. Is actually, his life is actually as crazy as you would think.
The meme, no, it's not really a meme. It's more of a post that keeps popping up. How Ozzy Osbourne stopped taking acid after he chatted to a horse for an hour.
Yeah, I've seen that story. They've started a podcast, the Osbournes podcast. Him, Sharon, those two kids of his sit down and talk about life.
Her?
Yeah, she looks like a completely different woman. But she's
like
Sharon
both.
Osbourne.
Yeah.
She, like, managed them for a bit, and then that's how Ozzy and that started shacking up to it. But obviously you got the biting the head off the bat scenario.
Apparently he didn't actually realise it was
Yeah.
a live bat. I mean,
You thought
probably like
apparently
a
they
rubber
were
bat,
always
wasn't
throwing props on stage.
Yeah.
And I love the fact they're from Birmingham as well. A
a
little
few bands
party.
from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Electric Light
Not as
Orchestra.
big as, like, Sabbath.
Who's the other one? Sultans of Swing. What's them? What are they called? Dire Straits.
Dire Straits.
They're from Birmingham. I think.
Really? I didn't know that.
UB40.
But yeah, my vote will
Shout
go
out Birmingham.
with Black Sabbath.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to skip the next one because I feel like,
Caused too much arguments.
yeah, it could be a big one.
Too controversial.
I'm going to go with The Doors versus
Don't say it.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, sound, mate.
I know you've like loved The Doors since you were Wayne.
Yeah.
And you've
Long
got a
time.
Zeppelin top on, so what we
I know,
doing?
Yeah. It's tough. It is tough. That is really tough.
What would you put out there? So, mate, honestly, Jim Morrison's one of my favourite. Like, I don't know why I like him so much.
It's like, who's the best frontman?
He's so
between
cool.
him and
He doesn't look like a 27-year-old. When you see his interviews, when you see him talking, when you see how profound he is, when you read his poetry, when you listen to his lyrics, when you like watch how he sings, that's not a man in his mid-20s. I don't know like back then, yeah. It's so I don't know.
quicker.
They grow up quicker. Their linguistics are completely different. They know how to talk more profoundly. It's just I don't know.
Some people are just gifted, aren't they?
And yeah, The Doors.
That is really, really hard. It's Basically, what would I rather listen to for the rest of my life? If I had to pick
Yeah, that's
between
it. Yeah, and the other one's kind of gone. You don't get to listen to them anymore. They get eviscerated, so
man.
they never existed.
That's banging. Sophie's choice for bands.
So
flip of a coin, right? I'll just someone's getting upset. Do you know what? I'll say Led Zeppelin.
You'll say Led Zeppelin.
I feel like they have a greater impact on rock and roll as a whole than the Doors did.
Yeah, I don't think the Doors were around long enough before Jim Morrison kicked it for them
They
to
released 67 to 71. That's all they were around for.
What's your favourite Doors
song? The Crystal Ship.
Yeah?
Or... Yeah, The Crystal Ship's definitely my favourite, I'd say. I play that the most. No guitar, just piano. Unreal. That's off their debut album. But I got loads. When the Music's Over.
Turn Out the Lights. What's the song? Come on now, touch me, babe.
Touch Me, great song. The End.
Riders on the Storm.
Love Her 2 Times. Love Her Madly.
No one knows that they done that Chasing Status song. I've been down so goddamn.
Been down so long.
Yeah,
it's hard because I love them. I love
Mr. Mojo Rising, Mr. Mojo, LA Woman.
Good album.
Great album. Great song.
So yeah, I mean, to be fair, they done a lot.
You know when he's singing Mr. Mojo Rising, when he played that live, like no one knew what he was doing, and then he threw a piece of paper on the stage.
An amalgamation of his
name, it's Jim Morrison just spouting different letters. There's a lot of like suspicious like stuff surrounding his death. Like, you know, he died in like Paris and he had no funeral and that. I reckon it's just the story that you know that's on Wikipedia is the real story. I don't really always believe in these death conspiracy things.
Everyone's got conspiracy.
People just like to hold on to that because they can't accept the fact that someone they idolized has passed away. But come on, you know. But like, me, who was I talking to about this? It's a shame when people with that nature and that much talent end up passing away, because there's albums that you never got to hear that were never created that could have been some of the best albums in the world. Kurt Cobain dead at 27. Jim Morrison, Tupac, Hendrix,
Janis Joplin.
They could have went on different genres. They could have.
But sometimes it's almost
even Lennon at 40 was still dropping bangers.
Yeah. Sometimes it's almost like they needed that for the legacy to.
Well, it solidifies your legacy instantly. I was saying this about Hendrix to someone. It's like when you die at that age and you're that cool, you will always be that, like, you know, that hot shooting young fucking teenage, like young man,
you're just seen for what you've
shooting for the stars, you know, a little bit against the grain, doing things you shouldn't be doing. You never became old. You never became like an adult in the public eye. So no one, you'll always just be remembered as a young,
just cemented as
like a little genius. Definitely helps solidify legacies.
Yeah.
Where were we before that?
So it was Doors versus Led Zeppelin. And
what's your favourite Zepp album? Led Zeppelin album? Don't know why I'm calling them Zepp. I can fucking hang around with them.
I'm wearing 3, so 3 or 5. Physical Graffiti, the one I...
Oh, yeah.
Got you down there.
Oh, yeah. Look at this, actually. Do you want to...
you can do it.
So, anyone... Wardy walks in with a Led Zeppelin 5.
Physical Graffiti.
On vinyl, yeah? Still sealed. Bought straight from CD John's. And that means I've now got Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means how many more have I got?
You need 3 more.
I need 3 more?
Yeah, but they're the...
studio albums.
Yeah, so...
I thought they only had 6 studio albums.
They've got In Through the Outdoor, 79. Over the Hills, no. Houses of the Holy, the one that came out before that one.
That's 5, yeah.
And
no.
Presents?
Trust
me, there is. I've been heavy into them, so...
studio albums?
Yeah, definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 if you count that one.
Google the studio. Google it.
That's all.
I've been down so goddamn. But yeah, man. So if anyone wants to buy me the one I'm missing when they come round.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be it could be a new tradition. Sorry, Callum, just putting you in it there.
Oh yeah, Callum watched the Cristava episode and he's like, you didn't tell me Cristava bought you a present. I'd have bought you a present round if you told me. I was
bought
like,
you some Muay Thai
done it anyway. Like, some vouchers. So, the Doors. No, what are you saying?
It's very hard, but I'll say Led Zeppelin. Only because I recently remember we've been chatting and I found like a newfound love for them almost.
Do you know I've got another one here. Ramones versus Sex Pistols. Ramones is like credited with helping punk like fruition in the UK, whereas Sex Pistols done that in the USA. Really, no, yeah, I said it backwards. Sorry, Ramones are Americans. Sex Pistols are the UK.
I know both, but not well.
I think Sex Pistols 3, 2, 1 are one of the most overrated bands of all time.
Yeah,
I don't like much to do with them. I think they only had one album, and that album is.
You're going to say Ramones, then? Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to say the Ramones.
I'll agree with you.
Nice and easy. I think, overrated. Sex Pistols, maybe if you were there at the time.
And that's your man, Johnny Rotten. Right?
Yeah, and like Sid Vicious.
That
Sid Vicious sounded like he was a dirtbag, to be honest with you. But Ramones.
Sid and Nancy.
Yeah, exactly. That whole story is seedy.
Cameron's a big Sex
Pistols. Yeah, he's got a little tattoo of him.
Oh, he's going to be upset.
Oh, well, I'll
he's going to bang you out.
It kicked me in the jaw. Like. Yeah. I'm glad that was easy. Ramones, multiple albums.
Blitzkrieg Bop.
Super influential. They've got influence over quite a lot of the pop punk bands that ended up evolving.
Imagine Blink, Strokes and people like that.
Green Day and Blink. Yeah. Ramones love them. Okay. So that was easy. What about Libertines versus the Strokes?
I'm going to say the Strokes.
The Strokes?
They have more albums for me.
Fair enough.
I think they do, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
More albums, more songs.
Libertines have 4. Well, we'll have 4 in next February. New Libertines album's coming out.
Really?
Yeah. They're back together. They're doing their thing. That's why I hope they're at Glasgow. Oh. That'd be class.
Seen them on Louis Theroux.
Well, I've been on a little Libertines train since the Louis Theroux documentary. I said out loud to the TV, I was like, oh, thanks for reminding me all of this stuff, Louis. I started thinking about the Baby Shambles, the Down and Albion.
Forever.
All of that. It was nice to see Pete Doherty in that light. It was nice to see him growing up, and but you could still see inside him he had that guy that if you whispered in his ear long enough, he'll come on a bender with you. It's quite sad to see. I don't know if you saw the dude he saw outside the pub. He's like, "What are you doing later?" Trying to insinuate like, "Give me a call if you want anything" or something like that. And you're just thinking as a viewer like, "I'll leave him alone, dude." But people just want to party with him. But he just lives in France, does his own thing.
He's got quite big, isn't he?
He's Porky Pete, man. That's what they call him on the tabloids. Yeah, well, he says that.
Is he happy? I didn't actually.
He said that's what he swapped drugs for food basically.
It's one addiction to another, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
it's sad. He says he feels like death's lurking.
What?
Yeah. Really? He said my health is in such a bad state. I can just feel inside that it's not good. And then he's talking about he's got a daughter, and he's like, "Oh, hopefully I'm here to hear her first words." And Louis Theroux's like,
gets in the gym, it's not like
you can be here for her 18th, not her first words. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know about
just
that."
Just get in the gym, mate. I think you should be all right.
yeah, just start running.
Literally.
But so what? Libertines.
Do
you like the debut Libertines album?
It is good. That's my. Can't Stand Me Now. It's a bit generic, but it's my favourite.
No, well, it is.
Song,
yeah, same. Yeah. Without a doubt.
And Don't Look Back Into the Sun. Just reminds me of
Don't Look Back Into the Sun.
Yeah.
So,
but I like the Strokes. They've got some good albums.
Yeah.
They've got more albums, I'd say.
You heard the song's called 12, 15 or something? It's like a time.
Yeah. It's off the red and black album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put the Strokes. Yeah. I'll do the Strokes. You can bop to them more as well, do you know what I mean? Have a good little sing along. You can only do that with one Libertine song. Okay, here we go. I don't know if this will be hard for you. It's not hard for me.
Sound.
The Beatles.
Oh, God. Hard. Well, it depends who you put them up against.
The Rolling Stones.
Easy. Beatles.
That's easy. Yeah, Happy Days. Beatles as well.
Sorry. but obviously I love the Rolling Stones, but Beatles, greatest.
Beatles have well more memorable songs. Beatles have well more sing-alongs.
They're the greatest.
Yeah. And they're probably the greatest band of all time.
Most inspirational for most other bands, I would say. There's no one that's going to beat the Beatles.
Massive pioneers.
The pioneers. The first Fab Four, first to ever do it. Do you know what I mean?
And what I like about the Beatles is even though they're early on the scene, I don't feel like they're some sort of band just the media's created. Do you know what I mean? Every single one of those band members on their own are super talented.
Yeah, they don't get enough credit, I think. But all world-class musicians.
All world-class musicians. Like George Harrison's solo career is insane. My Sweet Lord and stuff like that. Beautiful.
That's one of my favourite albums.
And
but yeah, like
Paul McCartney, his solo career is huge.
Genius.
Yeah, a songwriting genius.
Literally used to wake up with the melodies in his head and then just go into the studio. Like, dream about making music and then actually making that song a reality. It's crazy. They're the greatest.
John Lennon's one of the first people I got, like...
obsessed with.
Addicted to. So addicted to.
Like the guy who killed him.
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, because I've watched like every single documentary on the dude who killed him. I even ended up reading the same book.
Catcher in the Rye.
That the dude was reading, that he had in his pocket when he killed John Lennon, when he shot John Lennon, yeah. If you write in Google, the last ever photo taken of John Lennon, he's...
in the background?
No, he's with him, signing an autograph. So the last ever photo of John Lennon is him standing with the guy that would go on to kill him like a couple hours later, signing a photograph for him, because the dude was hanging around outside his house all the time, the Dakota building.
Yeah, Dakota.
And then he got out,
he's still in jail. I looked it up the other day.
Yeah, he keeps asking for a parole, and they keep saying, a lot of people are kicking off about that, saying, but if he didn't kill John Lennon, he'd be out by now. You can't just, do you know what I mean?
You think it's like a conspiracy?
40 years for murder? That's quite long.
1981?
It's 80, yeah. 43 years he's been in prison, which is sound, but you don't normally get that long for shooting someone dead.
To be fair, when
a life sentence, like 20 years.
Yeah, that's not a life sentence, is it? Oh, not over here, it isn't anyway.
So they're like, if he shot someone else, he'd be out by now.
I don't want him out.
I don't care about him. But yeah, the Catcher in the Rye was the book he was reading.
I haven't read it.
It's boring.
Is it crap?
Yeah, it's boring. It's got nothing to do with John Lennon or a celebrity or nothing. It's Holden Caulfield just running through New York for a couple of days. Yeah. And I think the guy just kind of followed the same footsteps as the protagonist in the movie. So just went to New York for 3 days, but the ending of this guy is he killed John Lennon. Just obsessive behavior. But where were we going with that one? Yeah, but Lennon, the John Lennon Letters, unbelievable book. He was super talented. I loved he was pretty outspoken. I kind of like his political views and him standing up for. But I don't know. He's complex, man.
Yeah, because
also a little bit pompous as well.
He wasn't. He definitely wasn't the nicest person.
Nah, you can tell that.
No.
And you can tell
especially his relationship with his son and his wives.
You can tell that he knows he's John Lennon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When did you watch the Get Back Beatles documentary?
Nah.
So
it's the one that's really long, isn't it?
Yeah, me and Brown had the discussion. He loved it. I did love it, but there was points I was like, it's a bit boring. But I think now I kind of have a better appreciation of it. But when you're watching that, you can obviously it's towards the end, so you can the friction's there. You can tell they're kind of falling out.
Yeah.
And he didn't come across as not nice, but Ringo seems like the nicest guy you'd ever meet. George is very quiet, and then Paul's just the brains, isn't he?
Yeah.
John, obviously, it's hard to say, but he didn't really.
Do you think it's an ego thing?
Slightly, when there's a bit in it where George is writing a song, and you can tell he's looking for help, but Paul's happily to give it, and Ringo, but John's isn't. It's I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
I think because it was towards the end, he's slightly more.
Well, there's obviously some sort of friction.
Ego's just what ruins all bands.
Yeah, exactly. You end up just building friction.
You just with each other so much.
It's hard though, mate, because in the end of the day, when you're trying to be creative, if you believe in your idea and you've got to put your idea up against somebody else who's creative, and then come to an agreement where,
bands.
Yeah, even if it's not an ego thing, even if it's you really just think in your soul, mine is definitely better. This riff's well better than that riff.
I mean, the problem is that him and Paul were obviously far more advanced in their song making than George was. So they obviously did take rank. And
that would get under your skin as well.
Well, all you have to do is just listen to All Things Must Pass. There's 22 songs on there that could have been on Abbey Road or the White Album. And obviously, people always say they shouldn't listen to George more. I like George.
I like him.
As a person, he seems the most, him and Ringo, most down to earth, I would say. It was sad watching that short video, wasn't it? The Now and Then one.
The Thingy Jackson one.
Now the music video they just released, the last ever Beatles song.
I don't think I've seen the music video. I watched the making of the song.
Yeah, that's the one I mean. It's like the,
oh, sorry, that, yeah.
well, there's a music video as well,
Yeah.
but the making of...
It's sad because you see George Harrison, like, in the studio with everyone.
Oh, wow.
And then you see him, like, however many years later, looking so gaunt and skinny.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy how your health depletes when you just look like a different person. I think he's standing in the middle of, like, some garden as well, so it just made it a little bit more profound.
But yeah, they're the greatest. Think of anything, they've done it. Do you know what I mean? They broke America.
To me, the Rolling Stones don't hold a candle. They're cool.
Yeah,
the Rolling
cool.
Stones are cool.
Even they would say the Beatles are better.
Yeah, I like the way like Mick Jagger moves, and they
cool.
do, you know, Under My Thumb.
Oh,
Like, their melodies.
Give Me a Shout is
so
one of my favourite songs.
That was my alarm for years.
What, Give Me a Shout?
Give me,
you know, I end up hating it, though.
that beginning bit, because it's just an instrumental for a little bit.
Very iconic, isn't it? But no, I do like the Rolling Stones, but...
What's your favourite Rolling Stones?
Probably Give Me a Shout.
Yeah.
Sympathy for the Devil.
You can't always get what you want.
Which one's that? What You Want?
It's called You Can't Always Get What You Want.
Brown Sugar, Jumping Jack Flash.
Paint It Black.
Paint It Black. Yeah, that's a tune. Out of Time. Have you heard that one?
I've not, no.
It plays in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You're around to touch my baby.
Oh, it's on the vinyl then.
Yeah, tune.
So that's easy, yeah, the Stones.
Yeah, that's easy for
Beatles.
me. I think most people would agree.
Next one's just because when we were speaking about trying to do this, we're trying to come up with bands we don't have huge like biases towards, you know, that we really like. Sound the Smiths versus Joy Division.
Smiths.
That, do you know what, mate?
I like Joy Division.
I've already wrote Smiths down.
Yeah. Remember we were just looking at that album you bought the other day?
Yeah.
Hollow, what's it called again?
Hatful of Hollow.
Yeah. Mate.
It looks like it could be a double album.
Tune. I think it is a double album. Depends on the length of it, I
Got
guess.
it here, actually. Yeah, look.
Oh, nice.
William, it is really nothing. What difference does it make? How soon is now? This charming man still ill. Heaven knows I'm miserable. And please, please, please let me get what I want. Every single one of those could be on the greatest hits.
Yeah, they're all belters. That's a great album. Joy Division's debut album is brilliant.
But you've got Disorder. I don't even think that's on the debut. Disorder, actually.
Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Radio Transmission.
I don't know.
Radio.
See, that's what I mean. We're not even too sure. Sorry, JD, but JD's
Yeah.
The Smiths.
Have you seen the film Control?
Yeah, it's like black and white.
It's Ian Curtis, basically.
The Ian Curtis.
I actually haven't ever seen it.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's good.
It looks good. Yeah.
It is good. It's pretty sad. It just shows you his life. He used to have like a lot of epileptic seizures, and he used to have them on stage and that. And it just shows you that basically happened to him. But he died really young. He ended up hanging himself and that. Just a disturbed mind. But Disorder's class. Do you know what I love about the song Disorder? It's like the first couple of bars, like musically, is just this one guitar. And then I don't know if he's probably using a loop pedal or something. But then the second this extra guitar comes in, extra guitar part, and it's layered over. And then a couple beats later, the third, it just... I'm not explaining it properly, but just go listen to it. It's like the first 10 seconds, this one tune, and 10 to 20 is both of them, then 20 to 30 is like a triple.
I'll have to listen to it. I don't even have a clue what tune you're going on about. You're so passionately talking about it, I'm just like, yeah, great tune. Never fucking heard it.
Me? Oh, no. When I put it on, you'll be like this. I wish I could like, emulate I can hear it right now in my head, but I know if I went to go do that with my voice, then it would, that wouldn't be good. So the Smiths, the Queen is dead. That started trending when Queen Elizabeth started to hit.
No comment.
And Meat is Murder.
I was just going to say Smiths. You obviously watched The Killer.
What Killer? Oh, yeah. The film on Netflix. That was class.
And he's just listening to the Smiths.
Always got the Smiths on. That's an unbelievable film, by the way, if anyone who likes films.
Yeah, it was decent.
I find it hard these days to get into a film that's just been released. I think they're completely different from how they used to be. I think the trajectory of the quality of films is just insane. It's declining rapidly. But The
time.
Killers came out, and I only read the synopsis. Synopsis said it was David Fincher, the one who done Fight Club, Seven, prestigious sort of director class films. Watched The Killer, and honestly, about 15 minutes in, I was like, he's narrating to himself the way like Edward Norton's character in Fight Club narrated to himself. Monologuing, speaking. You can hear his voice, like he's not speaking out loud, but you can hear his internal voice.
Yeah.
That completely changes how you look at the film,
doesn't it?
And then, it's basically he's a hitman. Normally, I wouldn't like that hitman film. Not really. He goes to shoot someone, but it's not OTT. It's not. There's not much CGI. This guy's just a psycho.
He's just an assassin.
He's just a great assassin. Yeah.
But
brilliant film. Honestly, probably the best film I've seen in a while. Not ever. No, I was never going to say ever. There.
It's a
I
good
was just
for
going to
Netflix.
say like
For a
this,
Netflix.
I was going to say this year, but then I couldn't remember what else I'd seen. So
I write a list of.
I didn't want to throw that out there.
It was good. Yeah. It was not one of my favorites this year, but it's
brilliant. It was sick, man. I really liked it.
He makes good films.
David Fincher.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Seven, Fight Club, both brilliant. Girl with the
Fight Club's one of my favourite films. I like it, and you know what I like showing people it who don't know.
Don't know it.
They don't know that you know what I'm saying.
We shouldn't even be talking about it. Breaking the first fucking rule.
But it's one of those films where the ending
really
is a jaw drop, like revelation type, without saying too much.
I got Craig to watch it recently.
Oh, that went right over your head, didn't it, Craig?
He liked it. Shout out Craig. He liked it, and I remember him messaging me saying, "Oh my god,
wow,
I've just found out." Yeah, just found
out.
Brad
Pitt is gorgeous in it. That's like if I could have anybody,
that's
Brad Pitt's in Fight Club.
Apparently, personal trainers get really annoyed because whenever some guy comes in saying, "What's your ideal body type?" they always say Brad Pitt in Fight Club, and they're like, "That is impossible. You're not fucking getting that."
It is. Yeah.
He was literally he would have been on fucking.
He was. I've read it. I've read his diet. I read his exercise regime. I couldn't remember it, but he full sprint on a treadmill for like so many minutes a day. I'm not talking jogging. Like I'm talking as fast as you can possibly go, as well as everything else that he done, as well as already being quite ripped. You know.
Well, if you actually pay attention and if you notice, he gets progressively bigger in that film. So by the end, he's actually stocky, and Edward Norton's all thin and gaunt. It's just trying to obviously show the representation of like the Tyler character taking over Edward Norton's body. So by the end, you'll notice Brad Pitt's got a shaved head and he's like stacked. He's proper heavy, but at the start he's lean.
Yeah, and you know there's subliminal flashes in it. With little photos that you don't see as like to the naked eye unless you paused it on that one millisecond of a frame. But you can see the different frames that happens. It's the same thing. It just pops up like in different places.
But he does that. He works at the porno shop. No, sorry, he works at the cinema projector. Yeah, he flashes little bits of porn scenes in it, and people wondering if they had seen it or not.
yeah.
But it's funny that they've actually done it.
They're like dangling the camera in front of your face and you don't have a clue the whole time. Yeah. I love the dialogue in it. I think that's my favourite thing. The way they talk. It was. This year I started reading.
Because that opening monologue that Edward Norton does about the good zone in you, that's all straight from the book apparently.
Yeah, it is. It's the author's called Chuck Palahniuk, and he's got another book called Invisible Monsters. That's pretty crazy. If you like reading, Chuck Palahniuk's an insane author. But yeah, Fight Club's based off a book, and most of the stuff that happens in the book happens in the film. They kind of get it right. There's nothing that's like super changed in that. But I love Helena Bonham Carter's character, Meatloaf's character.
He's R.I.P.
R.I.P. Meatloaf, yeah.
He's so big
in it. With his fake titties.
Surely they're not, they got big fucking prosthetic tits. And he's just crying onto his t-shirt.
But we got there because he was listening to the Smiths all the time.
He's obviously a
massive Smiths fan.
You'd be gutted if you fucking hated the Smiths and you've stuck on that film.
Obviously Morrissey's really controversial now. I like it. I like the fact that he's a prick.
But he's a prick.
Yeah, he's egotistical.
He's a weirdo.
He'll like be about to go on stage at festivals and then boycott the festival and not play it because he knows like one of the vendors are selling meat.
Yeah. Some guy's got a cheeseburger, so he's fuming.
But what I like about him, is he says stuff that everyone else wants to say, but doesn't have the balls to say out loud. He doesn't feel an obligation to bite his tongue just to fit into the sort of dynamics that
I respect it.
the media want him to fit into. He wrote a big statement when Sinead O'Connor passed away this year that went viral.
Saying what?
Just basically saying this woman's been ill for years and no one's gave a shit about her.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Don't
true.
try and, play to the like woke agenda of everyone gave a crap about her because you didn't. In fact, you done the opposite to her when she was alive.
It's like Caroline Flack, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly like Caroline Flack, where you just
build them up and break them
do
down.
the devil sign towards them like they're the worst person in the world. Yeah, break them down, berate their name, make them feel like shit, and then they pass away, and you're like, that was our angel,
Yeah, gone too soon.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the Smiths winners. This is a beautiful lineup we've got. We've got Led Zepp, Ramones, The Strokes, The Beatles, The Smiths.
It's a strong lineup.
I'll throw out one more, and then
Glastonbury 2024.
Led Zepp reunion.
Imagine.
There's going to be loads of good bands at the Glastonbury.
Imagine, man.
Well, Robert Plant sang Stairway to Heaven the other day for the first time in like 16 years or something, live.
Really? Was that any good?
I don't know.
Can he still sing?
I didn't actually watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it later. Can he still sing?
I've got a rap one for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Kendrick or J. Cole?
Kendrick every day of the week.
I don't give a shit about Kendrick.
What?
Yeah.
Nah, you're
I love
weirdo.
J. Cole's class.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
I
do like J. Cole.
Kendrick's voice annoys me.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't like his
yeah.
skits. I don't like his little ad-libs.
Fair
I don't like the tone of his voice.
People say he bases that on like old Eminem, like the cadence.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't sound like old Eminem to me.
Fair enough.
Cole,
I do like J. Cole.
But
you're telling me J. Cole has a better album than Good Kid, Mad City?
Yeah.
Or To Pimp a Butterfly?
No. Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not better than either of them.
I don't know, man.
Nah, Good Kid, Mad City. Unreal. Do you want me to go through the fucking track list? Oh, you said you don't care.
Go on then. Go on in.
Tucker will be fuming with you.
Good.
Right. So why don't you like him?
You
you've just said it,
to
obviously,
me,
but like...
But you know, it's annoying. It winds me up because I know how prestigious he is, right? And I want to get to know him
My
better.
favourite song of his is...
But every time I listen to him, I'm like, I'm so bored. I don't get that.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying at First. It's like 2 songs in one. It's like 11 minutes long. And it's
well, make me a little playlist.
I will, but that song...
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. That's all I know.
That song is...
That's all I have like
taken from 3 different perspectives. It's amazing, honestly.
Well, maybe I'm having one, but I prefer that like conscious sort of rap as well. 2000 Born Sinner.
Yeah, no, I've got
how
them all. I
Land
like
of the
J.
Snakes,
Cole. I've got
Power
them all,
Trip,
mate.
She Knows, Rich, N-Word. Let Nas Down. What a tune when he says sorry to Nas. Oh yeah, Let Nas Down. He basically pens a letter to Nas because when he first made like Work Out and his radio hits, Nas was like, well, you're meant to be the new guy in town.
Have you heard the Shook Ones freestyle he does?
No.
Over to the Mob I can't speak. Mob Deep.
Nah.
You would have. That's good. Nah, I'm sorry.
2014 Forest Hill Drives.
I'm taking Kendrick.
You can. I listen to that out there on the balcony sometimes, really late at night, just watching the stars.
See, like the off season is new.
I love those little stories. You can just go into.
Don't get me wrong.
The off season's good.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into it, but I couldn't get into Kendrick's new.
So I'll put J. Cole down for this one.
Yeah. Nah, well you can put him down.
Nah, we'll put a draw, mate.
Just let the record show.
Let the record show it's a draw. Do you have any?
Yeah,
I've got one more.
I've wrote quite a few.
I've got the headliner.
Right, you do yours.
Well, this is more to you because I know.
Go for it.
Beatles.
Oh god, why?
Back in the mix. Who am I going to put them up against?
I know what you're going to say.
What?
Led Zeppelin.
No, I was going to say Oasis.
Beatles.
Really?
Because
for some reason I think you're like the most massive Oasis fan in the world.
No, that's Brown.
Yeah, I know it's him. But
no, I love Oasis. Like, obviously, my brother loved Oasis. Like, everyone when I was growing up loved Oasis.
Yeah.
But as I've got older, you just, yeah.
You stop being a chavvy little kid.
Stop wearing
Nah,
Burberry hats. So. Nah, I mean, yeah, I love Oasis. They're probably like the first band I actually listened to. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have had the CDs, things like that. But like Beatles now, I'm just like, there would be no Oasis without the Beatles. That's as simple as that.
Mate,
so,
Oasis.
Liam Gallagher
are
wishes he
Beatles
was John.
tribute band.
Yeah. I remember some kid saying that to me in school when I was probably like 14, and obviously it proper pissed me off.
How dare you?
Oh, Oasis is the best band fucking ever. And he was like, they're a Beatles
They even
tribute
say
band.
it
But back then
themselves.
I'm like, oh, what a shot. Oasis are the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which they are.
Go on.
They're still unreal, but nah.
So
They're pioneers. Yeah.
I'll edit it out. I'm gonna go have a quick pee. Do you need a pee? Happy days. Happy days. We're back from a little pee break. It's back from the toilet. Do you know what's funny? If I don't find it and I keep it in, we just walk around.
Find what?
When I edit, if I've left it in.
All right, yeah. Just keep it in.
So you got something to throw at me, do you?
Yeah.
That are more down my street.
We can give you one down your street. Or up your street.
It's gonna be hard. You
Hard
coming
for
with
you?
me though?
Nah.
You ain't coming with me?
I don't have a say on this one.
Ah,
Good Charlotte.
yeah.
Or Blink 182.
That might be the hardest one you could have possibly asked
That's
me.
why. Yeah, that's why. That's why.
Shit. You're hurting me here.
Can I guess what I think you'll pick?
I don't know. You can try.
Well, then I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I think when after you say it.
So growing up, yeah, when I had a Walkman, I had a cycle of a particular amount of CDs, say 3 or 4, that I really remember being my go-to CDs that I listened to for years, becoming my favourite albums. And they are The Good Charlotte's, Young and the Hopeless, Blink 182's self-titled, untitled album, Eminem Encore, Eminem
Show?
yeah. And can't, maybe Word Gets Around. But them 4 specifically, I'd have them on my Walkman at my nan's, my Walkman at my granddad's. And that's when I started getting into music. Blink, the Young and the Hopeless album is one of my favourite albums ever. It's funny because I told Mia we were going to be doing this. And she said exactly that. Like, what are you going to do if someone puts Good Charlotte in the mix with that album?
It's a tough one. Yeah, you made me pick between... I'm already like half regretting the decision.
Yeah, well, that's it. But
Nah, I can't.
my actual favourite,
Unreal.
probably the best album ever to me, is the Blink 182 self-titled album.
I knew you'd say that.
Feeling This, Down, Go, Here's Your Letter. Oh, the production on it as well. If you get some really good... No one's going to do this. It's just I'm a weirdo. But at night, yeah, sometimes sit in the pitch black and listen to tunes. If you use Beats or like some good speakers...
I got some new beats yesterday.
Oh, mate, put them on your head, yeah, and close your eyes. And do it like you're getting into bed. Just go to sleep. And it's crazy that where the music comes from, yeah, when you can't see it, when all your other senses are shut off.
Yeah.
It's...
You hear things that you didn't actually...
The quality is completely different. How you like receive it, it's so much different from having something on playing in the background.
That's why I bought them new headphones, because I wanted to actually like... I've just been using them crappy little Apple ones, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got
Black
Friday deal.
Oh,
Beats,
nice.
90 quid, mate.
Oh, nice.
Snip. Came down in 2 days.
Should have got a few pairs.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Marco was saying, oh, you should have got these ones. You should have got them ones. I was like, nah, man, I don't care that much. Do you know what I mean?
I lent mine to Bon and he snapped them and then bought me a new pair. Do you know
Oh,
what
mate. That's
so,
the funniest story.
But yeah, I don't think I could ever put the Blink 182 album anything over that. Do you know what I'm saying? So
that's your decision.
I'll do
then,
Blink. Yeah,
That's what I thought you would say.
Good Charlotte have so many good albums. Their whole run is pretty decent. even up until like their latest stuff. Youth Authority is a bit dodgy, but Generation RX is
I had
class.
the
Yeah, I
only
know.
good Charlotte song.
Girls don't
yeah.
like boys, girls like cars and
isn't
money.
he going out with Cameron Diaz?
So he's
Or
going
he
out
was.
with Cameron Diaz, and his twin brother's going out with Lionel Richie's daughter.
Nicole,
Yeah.
Lionel Richie.
So, you know what I mean? They're everything you could ever want as rock stars. Gorgeous
what about
girlfriends.
Tony Hawk's son
I know.
marrying Kurt Cobain's daughter?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around?
Nah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's Kurt Cobain's daughter.
And Tony Hawk's son.
Yeah. That's funny, right?
Yeah.
They could have him the most talented kid in the world. Gene-wise. Whether they do anything with him, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want me to give you another one?
Yeah, let's go out there.
I'll change it up a wee bit. Oh. Yeah. Do you know what? Remember you were saying the Sex Pistols were overrated? I've wrote The Clash versus the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, I put The Clash every day. My dad used to like The Clash. There's a song called White Man in Hammersmith Palace. Palette, whatever, however you say it. But yeah,
Decent.
great dude. Joe Strummer's really cool. Joe Strummer has this like signified Fender Telecaster that's like road worn. Oh, mate, it's one of the most coolest looking guitars. It's cost like $1,000 in summer. So, you know, if this anyone wants to buy me that present,
I'll give you
but yeah, I'll take The Clash easy.
Michael Jackson. I know we were chatting him before. Versus Prince.
I
I
would-
you like Prince, but
Yeah.
I'm obviously an MJ guy. That sounds weird.
Prince is just too cool for me.
Yeah, he is
MJ's not that
cool.
cool.
And he played guitar.
And he was a guitar virtuoso.
But Michael Jackson.
The
has
YouTube
more
video of
songs.
him playing While My Guitar Gently Weeps in front
Yeah.
of George Harrison's
I
son,
watched
in
it
front of
recently.
Jeff Lynne from ELO, in front of Tom Petty. I read this story that apparently they didn't really like him.
Really?
And so that's why he kept soloing. Like, you can see it on their faces. They go to carry on singing, but Prince doesn't stop soloing.
Yeah.
He's got a red fedora on. So
Yeah,
someone
that's-
go watch it
yeah.
now and wait for the Prince While My
It
Guitar
popped up
Gently
on
Weeps solo.
my Instagram recently.
And you can see George Harrison's son. He's almost smiling like, I can't believe I was seeing this. Prince must solo for about 2 minutes, class solo, then launches his guitar in the air, lets some roadie catch it, and just does one off the stage. Don't think he even says bye. It's cool.
Just dips.
There's an unplugged Prince as well YouTube video where he's just playing the acoustic guitar to what looks like some sort of college crowd, or almost looks like he's on a talk show. He's just cool, man. He's cool.
Is cool.
He's like proper. Oh, I haven't even mentioned his Super Bowl halftime show where it's raining. He does a cover of All Along the Watchtower and the Foo Fighters' Best of You, but he mashes them up so they go into each other. And you know how much money they put into like the Super Bowl halftime show, right?
Usher's on it this year.
So is it Usher? Yeah, I couldn't even think. Well, I don't know.
Don't you say it bad.
I
What
don't
about
know.
Usher?
Yeah, I was gonna be judgmental, but I don't actually know if I have any reason to say that he should.
Nah, Usher's class.
Is he?
Courtney loves him. Yeah.
What's a good Usher song?
Burn. Confession. Burn. Confessions
it.
Part 2. Nah, I'm not
You have to
singing
sing
that. Let it burn.
Let it burn, let it burn.
yeah. Paul McCartney remix. Nah, Usher was brilliant, man. He's he can dance as well.
Yeah.
Courtney was going to go watch him in Vegas.
Usher or
but
R. Kelly?
If I said R. Kelly, I'd be getting fucking cancelled.
I was joking anyway.
Apparently, he just sings to all the inmates in prison. They don't
Does
give a
he?
shit. They just get him to fucking pop a few songs out in the showers and that.
That's so fucking funny.
He won't
man.
stab you. If you
R.
just-
Kelly, yeah. Have you seen like his interview? He's trying to say I'm innocent.
He's like, what do you mean by teenagers?
Yeah. The worst answer you could
Yeah,
ever
it's
give.
like, oh, bro.
He's the most seediest little bastard ever.
No.
I believe every single accusation against that man.
P. Diddy. Dodgy.
His
There's a
name's
lot
being
of stuff coming up recently.
yeah.
Me and Marco have been chatting about.
Well, do you know
Marco said there's going to be a surviving P. Diddy next. Mate, he's dodgy.
surviving Peter?
Watch the video of him and Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's poor little face.
What is it?
He's like got his arm around him and he's like, oh, we've just been doing stuff, but we can't really talk about it. And Justin's just like, it's just
No way.
creepy, mate.
Is
Very
that not
creepy.
just the internet? Though?
No,
Does that
no.
actually look strange?
What about all the allegations
seen-
that he gets people killed?
Yeah. Well, 50 Cent. Have you seen what 50 Cent's been saying on stage?
Tupac?
Kill
Eminem
shot.
said it.
Eminem's kill shot.
Exactly.
Eminem's kill shot literally ends with saying, because basically Machine Gun Kelly is on P. Diddy's
Yeah.
record label,
Yeah.
and then Machine Gun Kelly took shots at Eminem.
I know.
with that diss track. Now, I'm just saying for like the audience.
Yeah.
And then, so Eminem responded in, you know, 2 pretty infamous diss tracks of the last like 10 years. And then at the end of Eminem's diss track, he basically says, Diddy, don't make me tell everyone that you were the one who took the hit out on Tupac that got him killed.
And then he like goes like that.
And then he goes, oh, I'm only joking. Yeah. And then 50 Cent's on stage every night saying, yo, fuck P. Diddy and that.
He's a dodgy.
You know, he got Tupac killed. And then the people who apparently killed Tupac are also saying, so the guy's going to court.
It's very sus, isn't it?
Well, this guy's a fool, man.
Didn't he like admit it? He wrote a book
He's been on like Vlad TV. He's been on all the interviews, just walking.
Fixes.
He wrote a book on it.
Yeah, he wrote a book. Yeah.
So of like the night we killed Tupac, here's the whole confession. But because he's not the smartest guy,
30 years ago.
He's 30 years ago, and the person that actually pulled the trigger is dead.
Oh, okay.
So there's like 4 of them.
But you're an accomplice to murder.
And well, that's it.
They're still gonna put
there's
you
4
away.
of them in the car. 3 of them are dead. His nephew was the one that apparently killed Tupac. That's up for discussion. I mean, but there's a bunch of people that are dead and can't stick up for themselves. Maybe they'd be blaming it on someone.
It's like MJ.
So this guy... Wow. Wait, I was going to go into some MJ conspiracies then, but I thought we haven't even got off the Tupac one. No, sorry, the P. Diddy one. And who else has he apparently got killed? Don't know, but you can look it up. There's seedy stuff.
Not sure, mate.
But he's class and get him to the Greek.
Yeah, he was funny.
How can you be a good actor and a murderer?
I look more like Frank than I look like Sammy. Why? Because I'm black, I gotta be Sammy.
That whole film was insane.
Well, the Russell Brand, that's gone a bit quiet, hasn't it?
That has gone a bit quiet. It didn't last for long.
It was weird. Probably because it's all bullshit, but...
I think it's everything with the Russell Brand. I think the stuff he's accused of, he's done. I think, but there's also people lying about stuff he's done. Everything that's happening to him, he has gave the media, the ammunition they need to take him down. I think the fact that if you ever watched his YouTube channels where he's talking out against like the governments, COVID, Ukraine wars, geopolitical sort of whatever, they don't like you talking about stuff like that. Yeah. So if they're going to throw allegations at you, you want to shut up and stop doing that.
He's an easy person to pin at sexual allegations
man,
with his checkered past, do you know what I mean? Like, he obviously
and he does just look a bit skivvyish.
Yeah, I mean, he's never been...
People think that he's
never been renowned as a nice person.
Well, people think that he's like been slagging off the government because he was very aware these allegations were going to surface sooner or later, and then he could has that to fall back on.
Someone put on Reddit over a year ago, Russell Brand switching sides when the allegations come out. You can claim, witch hunt or manhunt or whatever.
Yeah. They're just trying to...
I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yes. You'll never know now.
Well, it's gone very quiet. I've not heard anything for a good couple months.
But you have so many sides to a story with the internet now. Where do you start?
Some people literally get their knowledge from Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And they never think to double check it. That's what winds me up.
Were we on a band off there?
Yeah, we've proper went on a tangent. But no, I know it was MJ versus Prince. MJ for me.
I'm going to say personally Prince, because I didn't listen to MJ that much growing up. I know how cool he is, but I knew all along
always on
what he was really like.
Always on in the background. Yeah.
So it was intuition told me to stay away from that man. So I never, I've never checked him out. I just know the popular songs. It's just like, Thriller's probably one of the first music videos I've ever watched.
It's one of the best albums.
That's an early memory for me.
Yeah, it was a cool music video too. He always had good music videos.
But he's just full of shit.
Who, MJ?
Yeah, he's full of shit. Like, look at this thing about his kids. Just because he bleached, his kids are fully white.
Who's the mum? Priscilla.
I don't have a clue. Oh, Elvis' daughter.
Not Priscilla. Elvis's daughter. What's her name? Can't remember.
I don't know, but
that's the one he had the kids with. No,
they're not black. They're not slightly black.
She's white though.
Yeah, but
it's weird. It's like, is it the DNA should still come through? He's still a black guy.
At least a little bit, man. Just a little touch.
Maybe she cheated.
But yeah, and then he wouldn't get like DNA tests and that. So
name one of them blanket.
Exactly. If you could lie about that.
I'm still saying MJ.
Prince is too cool. He's a sex symbol.
I always thought he was gay, but turns out he's not.
I wouldn't be surprised if he probably was. You know, when the door's closed, no one's looking, no one's having a little peek. Yeah. It's just him. I reckon
that's the same with P. Diddy. A lot of them. Have you heard all them?
I reckon loads of them. Apparently Bowie and Mick Jagger got caught.
Oh, that does not surprise me in the slightest. Have you seen Mick Jagger interviewing?
Would you get involved if you walked in?
Hello, boys. I mean, yeah, fuck it. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, I shagged John Lennon and Mick Jagger. It's pretty.
Yeah, that's a story to tell. You could get a book out of that.
Definitely, yeah, a little Sun deal.
Mm-hmm. Exploit them. Say, I'm going to tell everyone you're rubbish. Unless you give me some royalties to Imagine.
No. Imagine. Sorry, you can put a draw then, love, because
with MJ and Prince.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Put in the comments who would prefer out of them. So
I don't think there's many people that would say Prince.
I'd say MJ would definitely get probably more. But
what's the at the Super Bowl as well? Prince has a purple guitar that's the same shape as his logo, as his symbol.
Yeah.
Cool looking guitar, man. And he's in boots and high heels. He does the sickest solo ever. Who else is on your phone?
I've got. This is one for you. Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
Or Eric Clapton. That's a tough one.
So Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix actually had a really good relationship.
Really?
Hendrix is basically famous for what he done in London. So he's in America really not that big. He came to London, got huge in London. Yeah. He even died in London. So a lot of his career was based off the UK. But the person that manages Jimi Hendrix, I think, or managed him around the time, or helped bring him to the UK, he said, I'm not coming to the UK unless you introduce me to Eric Clapton. Because Clapton was doing this stuff with Yardbird Screaming and all that. Yeah. So you can hear it in Jimi Hendrix's playing as well. I think in the Are You Experienced, you can tell that emulates, the psychedelic sound that Clapton and that was coming out with the pentatonic really solos and that. And then is Axis Bold as Love the second album?
Yeah.
So I think that's more this is a Hendrix. This is real Hendrix. Coming into himself a little bit more. But I think Jimi Hendrix's music, he was doing that at a time. People were pushing the boundaries with rock, but he came and pushed it further than it had ever been. Yeah. And the way he played as well was so unique. If you ever watch him, his chord changes, along with being able to actually maintain singing like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He does started the bar chords thing, basically John Frusciante from the Chili's. So much of his playing emulates Hendrix. So you probably wouldn't have the Red Hot Chili Peppers without Hendrix, and you could say that for so many bands. Yeah, Clapton, I'm sure his reach and his influence is very large as well. But band-wise, I couldn't tell you straight away, they're influenced by Clapton, they're influenced by Clapton. Clapton's cool, and I actually seen him at Hyde Park. It was Class Day. He brought out, Steve Winwood, who does, Call on Me, the Eric Price song, but the original, the one it's sampled from, and Give Me a Higher Love.
Yeah, I know that one.
So that's really, watching that in the afternoon, waiting for Clapton.
Clapton is God.
Waiting for that graffiti photo. And... Santana was there, Carlos Santana. Nice. So that was a nice day.
When was that?
That years was ago. Not about 5 or 6 or something. But I like Clapton's story. There's a good documentary called 12 Bar Blues. I watched it premiere in the cinema. Then after this film finished, the documentary finished, it went live to a cinema in London where Clapton was. And you could just stay after the film had finished and just watch a live audience asking Clapton live questions from London.
Over here?
Like a stream. Yeah, I watched it in the Jersey cinema. Nice. It's an insane documentary. He used to love George Harrison's wife and that.
Oh, he's in love with his
They
wife.
had a bit of a crossover, yeah.
Well, they were not best friends, but they were very good friends, weren't they?
Yeah. On the night...
He wrote Here Comes the Sun in Clapton's garden, didn't he?
Ooh, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's a nice
After an argument with the Beatles.
Nice little touch.
Went and met... Apparently, I could be chatting shit, but I'm pretty sure that's the story. He was sat in Clapton's garden writing it. They were pretty close as well, so...
Clapton tells the story as well where he was walking to a show to watch, I can't remember which band, and he was meeting Jimi Hendrix there. And on the way, he saw a left-handed orange Fender, the ones like Jimmy played, but this nice orange one in a charity shop. So he bought it for Jimi Hendrix. And then he went there. Then he went to the gig. He was on like the left side. He couldn't get through. He's seen Hendrix and that waved to him, like wanted to give him this present. And then Hendrix went home that night and died. He never got to give him the present. He said that proper sits with him like till today. But if you watch his documentary, he's had a sad life of, you know,
He lost his son.
Lost his son in like quite a horrific way. He fell from a building onto an adjacent building, basically died.
That's what Tears in Heaven's for, isn't
it? One of the most beautiful acoustic songs of all time, Tears in Heaven. Would you call my name if I saw you in heaven? It's sad, mate.
Yeah.
But
Nick Cave has one. You know, he's lost two sons now.
Yeah.
He's got a song called Into Your Arms, or Into My Arms, sorry.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's stunning. Sad though.
I don't know much Nick Cave. I just know that, and it goes so well with the scene, you know, in Harry Potter when Harry and Hermione are dancing. It's called Children.
Yeah, Children. Yeah. That's my favourite Nick Cave song.
It's a beautiful song, and it goes so well with the Harry Potter
that
scene.
song didn't come out during the time Potter was supposed to be set, so it makes no sense. But
yeah.
That song came out. Potter's set in the 90s. That song came out like 20 years later. But hey,
these people. And so, I'm gonna go with Hendrix.
Fair enough. I'll go.
Hendrix is, and it is like an, you know, those called the Jimi Hendrix experience. It is like an experience. You know, when Access Bold as Love opens, and it's got that weird alien EXP tune on it. If you have like Beat Studio headphones, it's, you know, that 8K where it goes in one ear and round the other. You can feel it like going round your head.
It's this new Dolby Atmos thing.
I don't know what that is.
Apple Music have got it.
So yeah, Hendrix.
Yeah,
Hendrix.
I agree, definitely.
But that was good. That was a nice little trip down Hendrix Lane. You've been listening to Access Bold as Love? What I've been appreciating about listening to, like, fully immersing myself in albums.
Little Wings on it, and that's my favourite Hendrix song.
That's up there. So beautiful.
Yeah.
For a short song as well with it.
I know, it annoys me that it's not like a minute longer.
Yeah.
I hate that. You have to just keep replaying it.
Yeah. I like fully sitting down and just analysing albums and trying to get more familiar with them. It gives me appreciation for songs that normally I wouldn't take to as fastly. Do you know what I mean? You know, like, obviously Spanish Castle Magic and Little Wing and that is on there, but then like the Bold as Love tune, the tune that finishes the album, of all the times I've listened to the album, I never really noticed that.
I mean, it's a good like 17 songs.
Yeah.
It's quite long.
Or I'll find like throughout the week my favourite song changes. I'll be like, oh, that's my favourite song.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, I'm like, nah, this is actually the best song on the album.
It just
goes to show you got to sit down and actually like
listen. Yeah.
We're too quick these days to just be like, oh, we've got Spotify, we're overwhelmed. The market is oversaturated. I get it.
People only listen to playlists.
Yeah, and you have to fight for people's attention.
Whereas we're very much like to listen to an album.
Yeah, especially when they come out. But you have to give it more than just like a once listen. People
so
like
many songs that I'm like, oh, I don't. But then like 2-3 times you're like, oh yeah, I get it now.
It's like famous album reviewers on YouTube, and they drop like reviews like 45 minutes after the album drops.
Yeah, and you're like,
it's like, how do you know that? Yeah, you've just quickly put it on so you could just talk about it and, you know, get the most views quickly, which it's a shame sometimes. I think you really have to just sit with it and be like, but I don't know. It
can take a few times to actually get into an album.
I remember what album was it? I didn't like it when it came out, and I think I might have been in a bad mood. Later on in the year, I checked it out again, and I'd listened to it for about a month straight.
Yeah, like I don't like, say when a new album comes out and we're in work, and I'm not going to listen to it now because I'm not actually listening to it. You know, shit's going on around me.
I take days off work sometimes and just go on a cycle, go up to St. Albans on the push bike, get up proper early, nice, and that's what I've done for the Blink album, new Juice album, and that.
There you go. I've never taken a day off for an album, but
it's good, mate, because you're not distracted. You can listen to it as much as you want.
It's the best way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, and I find as well, been listening to records quite a lot. It's
giving the quality actually
wow,
better?
That's what I'm getting to.
If I could, I've never actually sat and like listened to a whole record on a vinyl player.
It's completely different. You can hear that it's like a physical thing as
Yeah.
opposed to a digital thing. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
why.
yeah.
You can just tell
But
clear
is it
as
you can
day.
hear like the imperfections, or is it
So-
so clean? Or it's like
It's clean. I'll compare it to this. It's like, imagine the cinema screen movie with the surround sound compared to like
Just sit at
streaming a movie on your laptop with bad internet. That's honestly the difference. Like through these phones, which I never realized, is you hear stuff what the instruments do that you can't even hear on here. Like I didn't even notice that part
It's
of
like
the
when you
song.
get really good
Everything's more
headphones.
clearer. Every single little dynamic of the tune is more clearer, and it's that beats can do that. Like beats and stuff like that, or Sonos speakers can do that.
yeah. I got a good Bose speaker.
Yeah, like I've got like AirPods, and I bought like 30 of those just wired ones. You know, wired the white wired Apple ones.
Yeah, I've got them.
Got them from like a wholesale place, you know, just in bulk. So they're the ones I wear when I'm walking around, so I don't have to walk around with like Beats and that ones I leave at home.
Yeah.
And from doing that, and from using AirPods, and from listening to records, like I'm like, whoa, the quality difference is palpable. You know, it's so obvious. But yes, it's definitely worth just get huge Sonos speakers. So there's so much classic rock, right? There's so much classic rock that needs to be listened to loud. Like not even listen to it loud actually is a completely different experience. So it has to be listened to loud for you to appreciate it. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but speakers are good for listening to it loud because it's not just smack straight into your ear. Any others? Have we rode the wheels off on these band offs?
Yeah, we can do something else if you want.
We could spice it up and then go back to, I don't know. What have you been listening to lately?
This week, I mean, I have been heavy on the Beatles, like, as per usual, but Jungle, do you know Jungle?
No, I don't know what that is.
They're like a big group almost. There's like quite a few of them, but I think there's two main guys and then the rest are like the band. But it's kind of like electronic soul, like quite like summery vibes. But I didn't realize they had a new album out, so I started listening to that.
Was it good?
Was
it something hard like?
Nah, probably. I don't know.
What themes we going for? Just upbeat?
Yeah, like nice.
What do the vocalists do? Do they rap?
Nah, it's like nice singing and stuff. Wait there. You've probably heard some of this before.
Don't know if playing it might get it.
I won't play it, but you've never seen that album before?
Nah, I've never seen Jungle. Oh, wicked.
Well, anyway, they're good. So I've been listening to them. And then been on the Pink Floyd a lot, haven't I?
How have you taken to them? Because I know you went do a little deep dive discovering them, and I know
I do like. They are really good.
There's two sides to Pink Floyd. But some people don't want to listen to 15-minute songs, and some people are happy to immerse themselves in this thing where they know they got to sit still for a while.
So I don't mind doing that, but yeah, they obviously are amazing. The Dark Side of the Moon is a masterpiece.
Do you find, like, besides the actual bangers, which are obviously certified, you know, popular tunes, the songs that aren't that, do you like them?
I would be lying if I said I love them. I think they're an album band, aren't they? So like, you can't just pick a song.
It's like a concept. Yeah, they do concept albums.
Yeah, they're like the kings of that, I would say. So unless you're willing to actually sit and listen to a whole record, they probably won't be for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you know, if you, let's say you just picked a random, like the 7th song on Dark Side of the Moon, you can already hear song number 6 still playing, if that makes, because it's like a continuous thing. Yeah. So like just picking random songs sometimes
might not make too much sense.
Yeah, especially off the wall.
And it's already halfway built in, if that makes sense. Like the beginning of a track isn't the beginning of a song.
No, it's like
the mid. Yeah, the beginning of a track is like the middle of a song. Yeah. So if you are to press number 3 or 4, you're kind of you're playing the beginning of a song, but you're not.
Don't get me wrong. There is
even trying to explain that. It's like, well, I don't know if I can be
drawing a Charlie Day on the whiteboard where he's like freaking out. But yeah, they are very much a concept album band, but they come up with some cool concepts. He loves all this political stuff, doesn't he?
Roger Waters.
He's a bit of an asshole as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I know, mate.
I told everyone to fuck off his concert.
I bought tickets to go watch him when I was steaming. I don't know why. I know why. I got the better of me. It was like 2 a.m. I think it was New Year's Eve. I was still up on the next day or whatever. watching Comfortably Numb, David Gilmour, do the solo.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
And I'm like, oh, I forget how sick Pink Floyd are. And I'll be like, I'll see if they, if any of the members are doing anything. Then Roger Waters had a concert, wasn't even sold out. I went on a resale website, bought the tickets for more than I should have, bought it in a country where I wasn't even going to be. And the next day when I was sobered up, I was like, I can't actually go to that. And I only got 100 quid back out of 350. But anyway, cut a long story short, that was all the Comfortably Numb solo that got in my head and made me do all that. It took over. So
it's a great song.
Yeah, but I tried to go through their discography. 3 albums deep, I was hating it.
Yeah,
I was really hating it.
Did you start from the start?
Yeah, I started from the start.
Yeah,
completely different.
Stuff.
Yeah, weird. Like gnome music and that. Like music's for like garden gnomes.
Sid Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sid Barrett, right? That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cuckoo one.
Yeah, he done too much.
So
probably and fucking I watched a little.
You've been listening to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I mean mainly that Dark Side of the Moon album. That's just unreal. But like you said, I'm not crazy into their other albums, like this album here, Animals. The second song 17 minutes long. It's just
second song set.
Come on, man.
That's too long.
Yeah.
That meme. Wait, the good part's coming.
Yeah, mate, the memes are hilarious. It's like arguing with a Pink Floyd fan 17 minutes into the song until it gets to the good part. No, just wait.
But wait, there's more. A scream.
Yeah.
But wait. I've been listening. What else have you been listening to? Much?
I like my soundtracks. So, like, if I'm heavy into like a film or a TV series, I'll then download the soundtrack to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And listen to that. Like the Napoleon soundtrack is amazing.
Well, it's funny you bring up soundtracks as well, because another little segue we're going to do after was guilty pleasures, and this guy's not exactly a guilty pleasure, and it's soundtrack related. But Hans Zimmer, obviously the soundtrack.
There's nothing to be guilty about. He's the greatest.
I know, right? And I showed Mia Interstellar.
Great film.
Unbelievable film. Murph. You know the Murph scene.
You know Timothy Chalamet's in it, is it?
Yeah, the little dude in the pickup truck. But see when Matthew McConaughey, when someone yawns in a room, right? Yawns, and then you yawn, like it's contagious. When Matthew McConaughey cries, I nearly cry.
No,
every time.
I'll happily admit, when I watch that scene now,
my throat starts lumping. So the two scenes I'm on about is the one behind
messages,
the messages,
the 15-year-long messages.
Yeah, where he's crying because Murph's all grown up and she's leaving him that message, and he's just bawling his eyes out in his spaceman suit.
We're the same age as
when you left. Yeah. And he can't take it. So, don't mate, shivs. And then
I'll tell you something.
The other one's behind the bookshelf, where he's like, "Don't let me leave, Murph. Don't let me leave, Murph."
That's everywhere now.
Yeah, Bruno Da Silva showed me that because we Interstellar. Yeah. Because we grew up together. We show each other millions of movies. Yeah, he's my little movie buddy. But I slept on it. I was like, that's rubbish. That confused the shit out of me, and that was wild too.
The ending still does annoy me a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
And then I was like, watched it again, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, bro.
Yeah,
I'm wrong, bro. Bruno, forgive me. Yeah. But yeah, man, it was like that. So anyway, going back to the soundtrack, after Interstellar, there's this one song I just love. It's when they're driving through the
cornfield chase.
Cornfield chase, yeah. Well done.
Great. It's a tune.
Mia's like,
it's always on Instagram.
Do you remember that 2 months or month, whatever? Every day I got home from work, it felt like I was just walking into a spaceship.
Did you have it blasting?
You'd be in the lounge with Corn Chase blasting, Interstellar blasting, Hans Zimmer blasting. And it's like 5 p.m. And I was like, I actually do remember that.
He'll be one of my most... He does the Dune soundtrack as well. And obviously, I love Dune, so...
So underrated. You can watch him do some live stuff with an orchestra.
Mate, I'd love to go watch
When I say he's underrated, he's not obviously... Yeah, he's not underrated at all. That's why I want to rephrase it. He's not underrated in that world, do you know what I mean? Or movie world, but...
Oh, yeah, he's...
Most people listen to this say, who the fuck is Hans Zimmer?
I mean, I get people don't want to sit and listen to just... There's no singing, it's just music, isn't it?
It's instrumentals.
Instrumentals. But, if you look up his filmography, oh my God.
Mind blown.
The Dark Knight trilogy, Lion King, Pirates of the Caribbean,
The Chase and the Dark Knight,
Interstellar, the list goes on. Dune, unreal.
Impeccable, man.
He done the soundtrack to that. Remember we watched The Creator?
Mm-hmm.
He done that. Obviously, it was a good film, but the music was really good in it.
Big Hans.
Yeah, Hans. I think it is pronounced Kung Fu Panda.
Fuck knows what that is.
You never seen Kung Fu Panda?
Maybe once upon a time. I know what is the panda, yeah. Kung Fu.
Fuck me.
The
You
DOS
never seen Kung Fu Panda?
Well, like,
I know
I would have.
Great film, Jack Black. Voicing, no?
Yeah, I know when he's like kicking stuff and that.
Do you know, I think he does Kung Fu in that film. Anyway,
yeah, but I know.
Hans Zimmer does the soundtrack to that as well. And there was someone made a reel the other day, and it was like, "Okay, Hans, so we're gonna need you to do the score for this film, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's a kids' film."
Yeah.
And then he's like,
Yeah.
fire coming out the piano.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
I've seen a few memes.
it's like
like
the
that.
scene is like, I don't know if you know, there's a turtle in it.
Yeah.
Uguay, and
Okay.
he ascends to heaven. It's called Uguay Ascends, but honestly, like goosebumps just from a turtle going up to
We'll
like.
check it out after this.
Honestly, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I've seen that meme as well for Phil Collins, where they're like, "Okay, Phil,
Tarzan.
it's just a kids' film. You know, you don't need to
I
go too
wanna
hard."
know,
And then it goes into the
Can you
Tarzan.
show me? Me and Boy play this Tarzan soundtrack on the way home from Biddy's. It's brilliant, honestly. Yeah, good album.
So
You don't have to go too hard, Phil. It's just about a baby living with some apes in the
just an
jungle.
adopted. Phil, what did we
Chill
say?
out.
He's looking old as well.
Yeah,
We're all getting a bit worse. for
sad,
it.
isn't it?
I've been listening to the new Blink album one more time.
Is it good or?
It's insane, mate. It's
you actually like it?
I love it, and
Yeah.
I'm not just being biased. It's like a sequel
to the
to
one
the
we were
album
chatting
I
about
was mentioning before.
Oh,
They've had, they've been doing their own thing. Tom's been doing Angel and Airwaves. There's Boxcar Racer demo on there turned into a Blink tune. It's like they've hit the mark. I even like Mark's lyrics because they're dual vocalists, right? I always love bands with dual vocalists. You don't get them quite a lot. Linkin Park does dual vocalists. When do you see like two people being the main singers? Do Oasis do that?
nah. Well, Noel sings a little bit, but
Yeah. All right.
no one wants to hear Noel.
Mum.
Beatles.
Yeah.
You've got 3 people doing harmonies, I guess. But no, what
great.
I was going to say is Chase and Status
Yeah.
have a new album out, and it's unreal.
It's good.
Yeah, well, like I used to love them,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you just kind of fall away from someone.
Let me have a look. Yeah.
And then
No, do you know what I
I
don't like?
watched their Boiler Room set on YouTube recently, and I was like, oh, I'm going to see if they've got any new songs out.
Sure.
And then they had this brand new album out, so I was like, oh,
This month as well. It's
literally
like 2-3 weeks
couple
old.
weeks old.
So, but do you know what I don't like, which everyone's doing these days?
What features?
Features.
Yeah.
Littering their
With
albums with
features,
features.
yeah.
All the rappers are doing like Polo G's solo stuff.
Yeah.
I say solo stuff, it's all solo stuff, but his albums with no features, like the first 2, Legends Never
Chase
Die.
and Status have always had features on, I guess, but I know what you mean. But anyway, it's decent drum and bass, but it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, John, but yeah, I'm out.
Yeah,
Creed.
Yeah,
Take me.
That's, I mean, I'm not like mad for drum and bass, but obviously it's Chase and Status.
A little bit of lyrics.
Iconic.
Like, there's a little bit of
the
lyrics.
thing is, it's that's them. There's plenty of singing.
Yeah.
You can sing along. There's a chorus in every song.
Yeah.
A lot of like nice girl vocals as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
decent.
yeah.
It's
We
not
love
just fucking noise for like. Yeah. No, there's some actual good tunes on it.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, check it out, mate.
But I don't know who else. Not really.
Been listening to this Ozzy Osbourne album called Diary of a Madman. That's my album of the week. I'm trying to get more familiar with. The Randy Rhoads plays the guitar on it, and it's like it's basically what Ozzy got up to after he left Black Sabbath. It's like neoclassical. It's so hard to explain. It's not like how Slash and Clapton and Hendrix and all that play. It's like you can see like 3 or 4 finger riffs. Like that's a bad explanation of it, but it's just you kind of have to listen to it to see what genre I'm trying to describe if you don't know what like neoclassical is. But it's like rapid guitar playing, and the tone is so clean. Like, yeah, must be my album of the week, Diary of Madman. It's got this song called Tonight on it that I'd never really heard. That's a really nice song. But yeah, Ozzy, man, it's like...
He's getting on, isn't he?
It's just... His solo stuff's just as good. Like, you never really see someone leave a band...
And still...
That, at the height of their superstardom, one of the best bands in the world, and then go on to have such an infamous solo career.
Especially when you don't write songs.
Yeah, and maybe even do better.
I mean, his name is just as big as the band now, I guess.
Without a doubt. And he's helped like pave the way for like, you know, some of the reality shows all the celebrities thrive off today, and that he was. They were the original doing that stuff like, early doors.
Reality TV family, weren't they? Like before the Kardashians and all. Them fucking weirdos.
And it's funny with Ozzy because when someone's in that kind of like spotlight, you feel like they, you know, alter their personality to meet what they think. But he's just realistically
Who's
himself.
Who's been in my room and stole my beers? You're the beer thief.
You can tell she's had that conversation.
She's just looking at him like, who the fuck else is it apart from you? Well, when the telephone rings, he's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I remember watching an episode and he doesn't know he has 2 cats.
Right.
So he sees them both in the same room for the same time and he's like, what the I can't do his voice. And then she's like, what? He's like, there's 2. Like, there's another cat.
You thought he just had
never seen them in the same room together, so he just thought they had one cat.
Hilarious.
That's it really what I've been listening to. And this playlist, like I actually put on my story though.
I seen it, but it wasn't a link, you dickhead.
Yeah, you click it at the top, it says play on Spotify. It's not a clickable link. It's
I was there like fucking kept skipping it. I was pressing about 4 times. I was going to message you like,
I'll put a little arrow if I ever do something like that again.
Yeah.
But what's good about it is that have all these albums you really like. But if you just put it on shuffle, and it's about 250 hours long. There's maybe like over 3,000 songs in it.
Really?
So loads of good albums.
It's a lot of songs.
And if you just press shuffle, you hear songs you've never heard off albums you like. So I've curated a little Love Child, a little Frankenstein. Sound, mate. I think we should do a little movie deep dive before we wrap it up. It's not really a deep dive, but we'll just reel off our best movies and get hyped about them and then just pass them on to the listeners. What's some of your favourite movies?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I know you're not very...
do you know what? Growing up, I fucking loved Lord of the Rings. The PlayStation games, the movies, the first 3. And I never gave a shit about the Hobbits. I don't know why I didn't care about the Hobbits.
They're crap compared to the Lord of the Rings.
We were having this conversation. Lord of the Rings is like one of the last franchises to do well visually with props and not have to include CGI
Practical effects.
in a majority of their movie making. You know, like all the Marvels does. Like I hate the Marvel movies. Yeah. I've watched a couple and it's just explosions.
I like them
explosions.
To be fair, recently, no.
Lord of the Rings is all...
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because everything was perfect. They got the perfect director and the perfect cast. Went to the perfect location in New Zealand. Filmed for 11, 13 months straight. One continuous film. Broke into 3 parts. The cast got along, and you can see it when you watch like the behind the scenes. Like they're still best friends today, and that translates onto the screen.
And it's a brilliant story.
The ultimate story of good versus evil, and the soundtrack's just fucking phenomenal. So.
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10 everywhere.
It's a masterpiece. And if you don't like fantasy, I get it, but people have they ever actually sat down and tried to watch it? Yeah, they're long, but put your phone away and genuinely just try and watch this film. It's
immerse yourself.
Yeah, like people who watch their films while it's being on their phones is the one thing.
Well, you're not watching the film, man, are you?
Me up, yeah.
You're not watching the film. You've just got a film on. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's background noise. It's not. You're not actually immersing yourself in the film. I'd say they're the ultimate films. I don't like, as much as I do watch them all the time, I don't like watching them all the time because it's almost like an event when you sit down and watch them, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we recently done all the extended versions, so it's like 12 hours of...
Yeah, that's like 4 hours.
It's like 4 hours each, 3 movies.
They put them on in the cinema the other weekend, Friday and Saturday, Sunday. You could go every day.
Jazz went to them.
Apparently they were well busy. I know they were well busy because I went to book seats to just... in case I ended up there, and there was not much to choose from. It's nearly full cinemas.
Well, that was during the writers and actors strike, so no films could like be promoted, so they were just like
Go on strike again then, because all the movies you're making at the moment are shit.
Tell me about it.
And I wouldn't mind seeing the old ones. I love when they put old movies in. I watched Psycho in the cinema the other day. It was unbelievable. It was nice to see the older generation, like 60, 70-year-olds in the cinema, and still gasp.
Reliving their olden days.
And they all gasped at the scene of all scenes at the end. What else? Scarface is on Tuesday. If you want to go watch that 40th anniversary.
That's funny you say that. I was literally going to put it on the other day. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
I've not seen it in years.
exactly.
Great.
I'd love to get that under my belt in the cinema. But so Lord of the Rings. What's your favourite Lord of the Rings? Two Towers for me. I love the battles in the Two Towers. What's the battle called with the suicide bomber that runs?
Battle of Helm's Deep.
The Battle of Helm's Deep.
I love the Two Towers, but if we're going on like the extended versions, the Return of the King as a whole, it's just unreal. The Two Towers on the extended version, it's amazing, but it's slightly dragged out because it is all building up to that battle. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, just it's a bit more slow paced. And the first one, we go the third, first, second. Two Towers is my least favourite. Controversial, but
Would you say Lord of the Rings is better than Hunger Games?
Hunger Games. Wow. You're going to start comparing it to fucking Twilight next. Honestly. Hunger Games can...
I wanted to see your face.
Nah, they're terrible. I've seen the first one. Me and Saul used to watch them down at his. I like the first one.
Hunger Games is sick. I like
the second
but that
one
was a joke.
Was okay. Downhill after that, though.
What else? What other movies? I used to love The Butterfly Effect. Was my favourite movie of all time for years until the dreaded moment everything changed. But
I love
Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, it's a film about Ashton Kutcher who doesn't have the best childhood, and as he's growing up, he has these blackouts. But every time these blackouts happen, like something bad happens, and then as he becomes like he's in college and he's older, like young Ashton Kutcher, like a young man Ashton Kutcher, not kid Ashton Kutcher. Yeah. He starts reading through his old diaries. As he's reading through his diaries,
he can control
the like page starts shaking, and then he goes back in time, right, to that exact moment that he wrote about. They're not exactly the nicest moments, and then he alters it by doing something so it doesn't have a bad outcome for his life. But when he comes back to the future, something's drastically changed in the future, and he can't remember. He can't alter the past to a degree where he comes back to the future and everything's okay. It's like every time he comes back, something's worse. It's one of the most profound films ever. I love it. And
Don't Look Back in Anger. Sorry, what's it called? What's the Oasis song called? Stop Crying Your Heart Out.
Stop Crying Your Heart Out.
Unreal.
But the best part of it is like, and then I'll tell you why it got ruined for me, which is well annoying. The best part of it for me was like, it's basically a romantic film as well. He loves this girl, and every time he goes back into the past, he's trying to alter it for her, basically. But he comes back to the future, and it never works out. So right in the last scene of the movie, he writes down like the first time he ever met her when they were kids at this like neighbor party, and he goes up to her and he basically tells her, "If you ever come near me or my family again, I'll kill you. No, if you ever come near me again, I'll kill you and your whole family." Scares her away, and then starts crying because he knows when he comes back to the future, if he's never met her, everything will be okay. Right? And that's like the love of his life, and he has to basically do that just so she
lives a happy life.
So she lives a happy life, and then right at the end, they're like walking through like some King Street-esque sort of background, like and City, they walk past each other. They don't know each other, and he looks at her. They definitely do. They stop at the same time, and they both look back, but they don't look back at the same time. They stop at the same time. One looks back at it. Different time. Okay, right, yeah, that's beautiful ending. My favorite ending ever.
Great, unreal.
I've showed 10 plus people that movie and watched it again every time. I went to go show someone, and there was an alternative ending. The worst ending to a film I've ever seen. And on Sky, on demand, on Netflix, whenever the film's on, it's that rubbish ending. The one I saw for years, it's harder to get. I don't know why. And I was so shocked. And I'm not even going to say what he does in this other ending because it's just so woeful. Instead of going back in time, I'm going to say it.
I just said it.
Instead of going back in time to the garden party, he goes back in time to when he was a baby.
In utero.
In the feet, in the stomach, and offs himself as a baby.
So
yeah, exactly. That's so weird.
It's like, have you seen I Am Legend?
Yeah, I watched it the other night.
Yeah, well, we watched it last year, and it was a fucking alternative ending.
What was, I don't remember
the
so
zombie guy fucking hell.
as you said, zombie.
Jeez. The zombie guy comes and collects his wife and they leave.
So
Rather than Will
end,
Smith blowing them all up.
The ending I seen the other night is the robots banging on the glass, banging on. Did you say I Am Legend?
Yeah, not iRobot.
Yeah, I meant I Am Legend. So banging on the glass, and the glass is breaking, and then as they break through, it like ends, doesn't it? Or it explodes.
He blows them up.
Yeah, it explodes.
Right, well in this one, he takes the zombie woman like off the table, and Will Smith kind of like looks at him like, okay, just like, and then it's so. We were like, what is going on?
See, if I'd have seen that, I wouldn't have remembered the other one.
Yeah.
So that's used to be my top film, but then because that alternative ending, I've had to switch it to maybe something like The Usual Suspects.
You do like that one, don't
I
you?
love that.
I
Kaiser Soze, yeah, the whole. It's a build up, a build up, a build up, a build up, and then a revelation, and you're like,
yeah, like when you asked me what my favorite film was, I'm like,
when he fixes the loom, all I'm saying is
scary movie copied.
and then
I mean,
like that, he was gone. It has some great dialogue. What's it? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like that, he's gone.
What's his name again? Kaiser
Soze.
Soze. Yeah. What else? There's loads, mate.
I love Good Will Hunting.
Great film. But I don't think Robin
So
Williams
sad.
is in. He's
So
brilliant.
sad.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. It's not. He's like, I know it's not my fault. He's like, it's not your fault. He's like,
He just
I
keeps
know.
saying
He's
it
like,
until
it's
he
not your
breaks
fault until he
down.
breaks. He's like, don't fucking do this to me, man. And
Matt
then
Damon's brilliant.
yeah, you know,
Anything
Matt Damon
Matt
and Ben
Damon's
Affleck wrote that together when they were really young. You can see them picking up Oscars for it. Kind of put them.
Everyone
on the map.
always says Matt Damon's the brains. And Ben Affleck just rode his luck. But he's a horrible actor.
And there's
great, though.
there's a class scene when he's at work because Matt Damon's super smart in it, and they're all like white collar, like
Is
blue,
it blue collar?
Yeah, blue collar,
When
like
he's
working
like,
class.
If you're here tomorrow, I'm gonna be.
That's the scene.
Yeah, I like that.
And he's like, "What? I'm not going to
He's
that
like,
college, or I'm not going to
"You're
go
too
do
good
that."
to
And
be
he's
stuck
like,
in this town.
"You're the smartest guy I've ever met. You're too good to
true,
be
though,
stuck in this town." He's like, "Nah, I'll be here for 20 years, mate. You'll come across. We'll take our kids to watch the footy together. Yeah, I can't wait to see you." Like, he's like, "If you're still here in 20 years, I'll kill you."
Yeah.
He's like, "That's not a threat. That's a promise. I'll kill you." He goes,
That's a good
"You've
friend,
got
though.
something none of us have." He goes, "You know what the best part of my day is?" He goes, "When I comes to pick you up, yeah. When I pull up to your drive,
want him to
that
be
walk
there.
from my door to your front door," he goes, "I just want to knock on your door and to learn that you're not there, that you've gone, you haven't said bye to anyone, you've gone." And right at the end, what does he
gets
do?
the heartstrings.
What does he
going.
do? They're all hyper in the car going to pick up their meat.
And he just
Goes, knocks on the door.
He's not.
He's
there.
like, "Where is he?" And then he just thinks, he's gone.
Done it. Yeah.
Oh man, and he's so smart in it. The dialogue's insane, and it's so heartfelt.
He's solving all
He
the
has
equations.
he's this like hot-headed hard kid that ends up being really smart and has to go to a counselor, and the counselor's Robin Williams.
What a legend, man.
And yeah, it's a beautiful movie. That's definitely one of my favorite movies ever, for sure. Good Will Hunting.
Green Mile.
I'll show you
I don't
that
cry
the
to
other
many
night.
films for that one. That makes me cry.
We won't get into it. That's why Stephen King is one of the best storytellers ever. He done The Green Mile, Shawshank, and obviously he's
Literally anything else you can
curated
think
the
of.
majority of the horror fucking realm.
Carrie.
Unbelievable. Well, I will do a whole pod on Stephen King one day. I
He's a
fucking
weirdo.
adore that guy. Well, he's weird. Yeah, of course he's fucking weird.
You have to be, I guess, to write
Yeah.
some of the stories he's wrote.
But he's had a good old funny life. But what were we saying before that? Oh yeah, best films of all. Oh, Green Mile, man.
Unbelievable.
And that's one of those films, you know, sometimes 3-hour films.
It's a long, yeah, but it's...
But 3-hour films sometimes get super tedious.
It doesn't.
That doesn't happen in The Green Mile.
Mate, it's
You hate
so-
that. You hate the antagonist. Sorry, Percy,
Billy the Kid. Oh, that
Billy the
kid
Kid,
as
and
well.
Percy.
Percy's even worse. At least Billy the Kid knows he's bad.
Yeah,
Percy's
Percy's
just
just
a
a little
worm.
scum.
A little
Like
worm.
Randall from Recess. He's just got that vibe written all
And he
over
stamps
him.
on the mouse. Mr. Jingles.
Mr. Jangles. And then Mr. Jangles is alive at the
then-
end. I love the way it goes back and forth,
Yeah,
but you don't realise that.
And he's got extra life from breathing in. Yeah, John Coffey. He makes me emotional just looking at him.
John
'Cause
Coffey.
he's obviously so like simple, but like good natured and caring.
When he grabs his like genitals to like
It's to
better
cure
them,
the bladder,
to cure
yeah.
them.
It's got-
No one knows what he's doing.
And he goes home.
You know,
and his wife all night.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And you see
all
the
night.
the night
starts
change
night
to,
and then it goes to
yeah,
the day.
and it
And she's
changes
like,
to sun.
we haven't done that since we were kids.
Yeah, that's an
Brilliant.
amazing film.
Tom Hanks, pretty much any film he's in is normally.
I watched a
really
sad
good.
film with him the other week. Someone told me to watch, and I haven't seen it.
Was it Otto?
Yes,
I've not seen it yet. Was it good?
sad. It is
Man
good.
called Otto.
He lost his wife, and he's very bitter about life, and he's bitter to his neighbours and that. And it's kind of, but then he befriends one of his neighbours, and you see that relationship grow.
He obviously becomes. Yeah.
I love sad films. Sixth Sense is one of my
Did you
favourite
say that's
films.
sad? Oh,
No,
yeah.
sorry. That's one of my favourite films. I love M. Night Shyamalan films.
I know. Me and Kyle were chatting about him the other day. And I was saying how much you like him. Obviously, I was saying I'm not like. I don't like films when you're expecting a twist. And
Yeah.
because you're now expecting a twist from him, you're like waiting for it.
Yeah,
It's always
but
like.
I think he topped that whole twist thing off with like the perfect. Because people started thinking in his films, loads of his films have twist. I'm expecting a twist,
Yeah.
and then you didn't think that through Split. You thought Split was a standalone film, and it's the last sentence in Split that makes you go, "Oh my God, he's just connected that to Unbreakable. He's connected to that to a film from the 90s,
Yeah.
and then Glass came out,
Yeah.
and then." After people didn't know that till the last scene, and then the posters for Unbreakable are the exact same as the posters for Split. So
right.
he actually the whole time dangled it in front of your face,
Didn't
and
even
even
notice.
while you were guessing, he still pulled one over on you. That's talent, mate.
Yeah. No, I respect it.
Split's an amazing film as well,
James McAvoy's great actor.
and and then that's how you end up getting Glass, the last one. But Sixth Sense, Signs, I like that old one. He done The Cabin at the End of the World.
Cabin in the Woods. Was it good? With Batista?
Yeah, but Batista, yeah, it was really good.
I haven't seen that one.
So yeah, he's one of my top boys.
Um,
Kill Bill 1 and 2.
yeah, I'm just looking now.
Tarantino.
Any Tarantino
Any
film.
Tarantino film.
Any Nolan film. Chris Nolan.
Kill Bill 1 and 2 is a whole experience. I'm going to do that tonight. Yeah, I'm going to do that tonight later, I reckon. I love the Crazy 88 fight with Lucy Liu.
Yeah, she's hot as well. What's my favourite Tarantino one? Honestly, I would say
Pulp Fiction, maybe.
I love Django. Honestly, do.
Django.
Yeah. Django. I love that. Pulp Fiction, Glorious Bastards.
I only seen Inglourious Basterds for the first time this year. It was the only
So
Tarantino
good.
film I had.
Did you like it?
I did like it. Yeah.
I've only not seen Jackie Brown. That's it.
I did.
But I think I'm cursed.
Remember we went to the film?
Mate, I'm cursed.
We went to the
right?
cinema.
So we went to go watch Jackie Brown
At
for
the
the
cinema.
25th anniversary.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it, so I was like,
Yeah.
yes, perfect chance. Let's go watch it properly. Sat for half an hour, and the guy came in. Sorry, guys,
We can't-
we can't get the film to work.
We can't get the film
So-
to work.
And it's never on any streaming service, like ever. Never seen it on Netflix. Never seen it on anywhere. Anyway, I got on DVD, put it in my PlayStation, nearly broke my PlayStation. It just went, and I was like, don't think anyone wants me to see this film. So still haven't seen it. It's the
And
only one
that's
I haven't
probably
seen.
the film, I've seen them all, that I have least memory of.
It doesn't.
But I'm not saying it's a bad
no,
film.
of course.
Like, I don't know why.
Compared to
Like,
the
Pulp
others.
Fiction I've watched loads. Kill Bill I've watched numerous amount of times. I know characters' names.
Even
I
Once
can't
Upon a
remember
Time in
anything
Hollywood,
about
I've seen
Jackie
a
Brown
couple
except from
times,
one
so.
scene.
Robert De Niro's in it, isn't he?
See, I didn't even remember that.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's what would you say the best Tarantino film is? I love Kill Bill 1 and 2. He classes that as one movie. I'll class it as one too.
What's his best or what's my favourite?
Favorite.
Django, Inglourious Bastards. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Or Pulp Fiction. Like Reservoir Dogs, it's good, but I'll take it or leave it compared to them other ones. Kill Bill, I love. Kill Bill 2, take it or leave it compared to the other ones.
It's the characters.
Hateful
in
Eight
Kill Bill.
is very good, but
That's a slow
slow
burner.
burn,
Too
yeah.
much of a slow burner.
yeah, it's more of a whodunit type.
Yeah.
Waiting
And
to
I
find
don't think
out.
you care that much.
No, the story isn't just not. It's too locational. Like it's just. Set
I
in
was
one
literally
place,
about to say the same thing.
which
you know
is
what I mean?
which is cool.
It starts
but
in the
like,
snow and ends in the cabin, and it's like that's
Yeah.
the two only
it's
placements.
a very much
For a
like
3-hour film, you're just like, oh.
it was very good, but it's not my favorite of his. What's the other one? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. When I first went and watched that in the cinema, I genuinely didn't like it.
No.
maybe just because you have to be in the right mood. But when now I've rewatched it like 2 or 3 times, I love it. I really understand. I get it now.
It's like the Charles Manson added vibe.
Yeah, like I liked all that. The cast is great. It just when I first watched it, I was like, what's this actually about? But then when you watch it again, obviously, he loves changing history, doesn't he? He always like has his alternative endings. Like Margot Robbie's character obviously dies in real life.
Yeah,
she obviously got murdered.
Yeah, they don't just have that little scrap with a tin of beans and that.
None of that happened. Like they all got murdered.
Well, that's what I enjoyed because I know the real story quite well through reading books and that.
Text.
So I expected that ending to play out.
Yeah.
And then for it to him just like make up this random ending, I was like, actually, that's pretty funny.
It's just
I
typical.
wasn't expecting that at all.
He done it with Inglourious Basterds as well. Hitler getting shot up in the auditorium.
Oh yeah, of course.
One more film and he's done.
I know he's wrapping up, man, and it's starting.
I kind of respect it.
It's starting. Something to do with like a radio host, or you can get a little bit of the plot. Yeah, film critic. That's it. You can
set in the 70s.
You can get a little, and I think he's basing the main character on someone that he was got a lot of influence from. That's quite popular, but he doesn't want that to be associated with the film, so he's not telling anyone who it's like based on. So you don't really know.
I mean, the film critic. I mean, I don't really know any critics.
It'll just be some random name you've never heard.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, man, I can't really think, man. That's probably...
I've got about 1 million films I could list, but we'll literally...
Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
With Jared Butler.
It's good.
It's amazing.
Gollop loves that film.
It's amazing, mate.
Truman Show. Me and Boy always say...
Jim Carrey got the shot, though.
Yeah, you're a dickhead. Me and Boy always say to Viddy, like, come on, let's watch the Truman Show. He still hasn't seen it. And one night we will watch it, but great film. Dark Knight. Great film. Saving Private Ryan.
Okay,
great film. Gladiator.
We'll wrap it up with this final question.
Wrap it up.
Heath Ledger's Joker or Joaquin's?
Heath.
Really?
Yeah.
Just that was easy for you?
Yeah.
Why was that easy for you?
There wouldn't have been a Joker film without that Dark Knight.
You think?
Yeah.
Joker's always been a popular character, though.
Definitely, but he made the Joker iconic in film, I think.
Do you think? Like universal?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Jack Nicholson done it well in Batman 89, but the Joker became like almost like the protagonist. You know what I mean? He was that involved in the film that he's almost like the main character of it.
Yeah.
And normally you don't really see the villain that much. It's almost left to like
his yeah.
The thing with Joaquin was more of a character study, like how I became mental or how he became mental. Whereas the Joker just turns up and he's already crazy. And you're like, who the fuck is this guy? He's just shoved a pencil in some guy's eye.
Yeah. And then one of the most cool scenes. Do you want to see a pencil disappear?
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Who against one of Michael J. White's guys who's like huge.
and then he goes ta ta ta, and he gets all the grenades under his jacket.
Don't wanna blow this out. Yeah.
But Joaquin done such a sick job, and I love in that film as well.
Great film.
The revelation, where he's not with that girl.
Yes. Nah, I love that. I got goosebumps.
I got goosebumps. I went like this, looked at the person next to me, and
I went and watched it.
It's everyone done that in the cinema. I looked at each other like, no.
Yeah.
All along.
It's just in his head. Poor Zazie Beetz. That's her name in real life. She got murked.
And he's just a bigger nutter than you ever thought. And I love when they pull him out of the car and they're like glorifying him like he's some god.
Cream White Room playing in the background. Oh mate, that was so sick.
But I know what you mean.
Heath Ledger's
has stood the test of time.
Yeah, I only found out he's married to Michelle Williams like recently. Do you know her?
I don't know who that is, mate.
She played Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
She's the woman in Manchester by the Sea, the blonde woman in that.
All right.
Yeah.
Sound man, so you've gone for Heath Ledger's Joker. Okay.
Joaquin, I love you, mate, but that Dark Knight performance they both won Oscars, so
I reckon it would have been hard to see, like be in Joaquin's space when he was in character. I reckon he would have been
Yeah, well,
so in it. You
the
wouldn't have even wanted to
the
talk
scene
to
where
him.
he grabs Rachel, Maggie Gyllenhaal's character, and he's like, "Why can't you look at me?" And she can't look at him because she hadn't seen him in his makeup, and he's just came on with his knife, in his purple suit, and he's just grabbed her by the face, and she generally can't look at him because she's like so frightened. So when you watch the film, that's all like.
Do you know why every time he's asked where he got his scars from, his origin story changes?
It,
Why?
Yeah. Do I know why?
Yeah.
I think it's to make the viewer kind of guess, I guess, to see like what's actually true, or is he just generally mad?
He's just psycho.
And I think him always changing the backstory, it just keeps you guessing to thinking like what
Adds to the
actually happened.
mystique.
It's just about the mystery of him. It just keeps him much more elusive. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think with villains, when you don't know why they're doing the things they're doing, it makes them even scarier. And the Michael Caine quote, some people just want to watch the world burn. Do you know what I mean? They don't do it for money or pleasure. They just do it for the thrill of it.
Oh, what all-star cast. Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Christian Bale, Heath.
Unreal.
Alfred.
Morgan Freeman. List goes on. Anne Hathaway in the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hardy in the third one.
Sound, mate.
That's a great trilogy.
Nice to see you.
Unreal.
Let's wrap it up.
Cheers, brother.